Truck Talk Media.
C10 Talk, episode 207. Jason Cassidy, Cassidy's Customs. He's a performer, he's a builder, and he's an all-around rad-ass dude. Here we go.
Back to that story. I was fired from school because I didn't give a shit. Anyways, the counselor called me in and said, it's just not working out. You know, I was like, what do you mean it's not working out? She goes, well, you're more of a distraction here than an asset. I was like, well, what do I tell my parents? And she goes, I don't know. What do you tell them up till now with your grades and stuff? I was like, good point. I guess I'll see you later. But I ended up taking my GED and I aced it. My mom made like 50 copies. She went down to the store and printed off copies of my GED. She's like, he's not a dumbass. I told y'all.
Damn, son. Hey guys, one of the biggest upgrades I was able to make on Orange Slice is my lighting. Think about this. You've got your old school sealed yellow lights. You put in new United Pacific headlights, boom, quadruple the lightage. They look better, they perform better, and guess what? They're safer. So you've got LED options, you've got new headlight options, they look great. And honestly, we upgrade so many things with our trucks, why not upgrade the lighting? When you do, think United Pacific. Here's the best part. You get to save 15% off all C10 products by using code C10TALK15. Save 15% off all C10 products by using code C10TALK15. Go to upcarparts.com. That's right, upcarparts.com. I don't think you'll forget it. Save today. Thanks, guys. Give them a follow on social media too, Facebook and Instagram.
Let me tell you what Melba's Toast is packing right here. All right, we've got 411 posi track out back, 750 double pumper, Edelbrock intakes, scored over 30, 11-1 pop-up pistons, turbojet, 390 horsepower. We're talking some bucking muscle.
What does that do? Does that blow your mind? That just happened.
Welcome to C10 Talk, your C10 truck podcast.
And now I have a chance to be the best, maybe the best in the world.
My old man is a television repairman. Ultimate set of tools. I can fix it.
I said I got 50 cents in that jukebox, and all I can hear is your mouth clapping. You hear that?
Here's your host, Ronnie Welch.
Here we go, episode 207. I tell you what, I'm trying to get out the door, packed up, loaded up, ready to rock, ready to roll, eastbound and down to the throwdown, 2021 LST, our 5th annual. I wanted to have some pod out there for everybody moving and shaking and making their way down to Conroe. Who better than to have Jason Cassidy, Cassidy's Customs, Texas truck builder. And, dude, I'm telling you, I have not laughed that hard on an interview. He was on fire. He was cracking my shit up the whole time. I hit him up, and this has been a long time coming. Sometimes it just works, sometimes it doesn't. So I was like, dude, let's get it going so we can make it happen. And I grabbed him probably by the time we made it work. It was like 9:30 his time. We went all the way past midnight. It's worth it. He does a lot of performing at the end. He gives us a little concert from Metallica, Eminem, George Strait, Smashing Pumpkins. Dude, I mean, he gets that guitar going and he's on fire. Again, it was awesome. Parental guidance, definitely something to think about on this one. You know, usually I think we keep it PG-13. This one's definitely R. So I don't know how many kids are out there listening. Just be advised, so you're not blaring it with your kids in the background. But it was awesome. I had some audio difficulties. I figured out what the problem is. Didn't really fix it though. So in the last couple interviews, I've had some audio issues, and I've got a bad cable, and I need to get that replaced. I did not edit this at all. I don't have time, so I hope you enjoy it that way. It's raw. It's uncut, unfiltered, ready to go. Speaking of ready to go, that's what we're doing. Getting ready to go to LST 2021, baby. Make the trek down, eastbound and down. We'll have a good group of people. I know the West Coast or the East Coast guys are doing the westbound and down. So I know Solomon's coming from Florida, Robbie and the UBT guys. There's going to be a whole slew of guys. So safe travels to everybody. That's a big deal. Hopefully the weather cooperates for you guys at home. Do a little weather prayer for us, because the better the weather, the more content you're going to get sitting at home on social media and different formats like that. We will be bringing you interviews. That's the plan. So we'll have some C10 Talk interviews there. I'll probably be doing some OBS ones as well. And we'll see how it goes. We do have some new shirts that we are going to drop there. The new Damn Son, which is, it's kind of got that, rockabilly girl with the mic. Pretty cool shirt, actually. My wife kind of came up with that one. It turned out really well. And then the OBS Eruption is a new one, kind of a tribute to Van Halen, Eddie Van Halen, R.I.P. Some stickers. I'm trying to think, a few new hats. And shirt-wise, I feel like there's one other shirt. Drawing a blank right now. Obviously, the C10 Talk MTV style, we reprinted that. That one does well. So hit us up when we get back, because we'll re-inventory whatever didn't sell or sell out, and you'll have an option. I know people are wanting to get that Eruption shirt and the Damn Son shirt. So when we get back, we'll go through everything. That's it. I don't think I have anything else. I want to just get this episode out to you. Like I said, the dude is awesome. He's talented. He's funny. He's a great builder for a guy who was performing and now is like, hey, I'm kind of building to pay some bills. It's fun to sit back and see what he does. Obviously, I like naming stuff. I love that he, comes up with some of the baddest names out there. So enjoy the pod. Let me know what you think. Okay? Give us a rate, give us a review, share it, like it, love it. That's it. All right, guys. Have a great week, and we'll be back from LST. Interviews from LST, live interviews. Late. All right. How about a little Cassidy's Customs? Well, if we got Cassidy's Customs, guess what that means? That's right. We got the one and only Jason Cassidy, Cassidy's Customs. Long time coming, brother. Welcome to C10 Talk. We're going to bring this to the C10 Nation, give them something to listen to on the way to LST. Cassidy's Customs. Thanks, brother.
What's happening, man?
I don't know, man. I was going to ask you how the fat girl in the dodgeball contest is going today.
It's good. It's good. You said you're down, so I was down like a fat bitch playing dodgeball. They're going to get hit quick every time.
I think you're so busy. I don't even know how you make it. I don't know how you make it happen, but you make it look easy. You're a busy dude, but I think you're having fun. So I can't wait to talk about the fun and bring that to really to the community.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's a passion I grew up doing with my dad. He's still got his shop in New Caney. It's like an hour away. And ever since COVID happened, well, I kind of took a little hiatus like a year and a half before that, because my kids were both graduating high school, my daughter and my son, this last year, which they got to go half the year of their senior year and then had to sit at home for the rest of it. But everybody suffered from that deal. But I took off from touring to be with them, and it kind of turned into an extra long hiatus, because now, obviously we can't tour, and I'm pretty much out of work just like everybody else that's out of work. So this went from a passion to a job, and I still try to take time to enjoy it, but it's a whole different, it's weird. It's not near as much fun when it's a job, but
I love it. I love that you're being honest about it. And I kind of wonder, because of that, we see so much more. One of the things I'm wondering is do you think some of the audience realizes that you're one and the same, that the Jason Cassidy is also Cassidy's Customs? Because what you've been doing in the last, let's just call it 12 months, dude, you're grinding nonstop. So your passion became a business, and life changes. Right.
Yeah, for sure. We just gotta, always take the punches and do what we can to survive. And luckily I was blessed with a father that taught me that I had to learn to use my hands. And if I don't, then I'm going to go broke or starve or whatever else. But he goes, I don't know where you got a voice from or that ability, but I'm going to teach you how to use your hands, and you can do whatever you want with your singing career. But for probably the last 15 years, I've been doing I've been doing the music thing since 2003, but I started singing when I was 13 years old in church. And I never really knew. I grew up a 80s hair band freak, and I grew up in New Caney, Texas, which is kind of country, kind of ghetto, everything else. So my background goes from, Ghetto Boys and to Metallica to George Strait, all over the map, So I was walking around with a lock-in at church function overnight, and I had a wireless microphone, and I'm like, hello, I kind of never really sang into a microphone before. So I'm in the sanctuary, and I started singing the dance from Garth Brooks, and I'm like, damn, I don't sound really horrible.
Damn,
Damn. So so I was like, man, I don't really know what happened. I went to a deal called Dawson McAllister. It was a youth group concert down at the Summit at the time. And there was a song that we ended up singing as a youth group at the church, and I did the solo deal for it. And nobody, just came out of nowhere that my mom's like, I didn't know you could sing, your voice. So it was kind of one of those things, but I was already building cars, or not completely building, but I started building my first truck when I was 15. And the year before that, I had a 67 300 Deluxe Chevelle 2-door post. And I started building that with my dad when I was 14. And by the time I was almost 16, we kept dragging it on forever and ever. And he's like, do you want to keep going with this car, or do you want to throw an S10 together? Because we did S10s we were the S10 shop of America, pretty much. We'd buy them at the salvage auctions. And we were putting out 10, 15, 20 S10s a year, probably. It was just probably more than that. I don't know. So we threw one of those together, and I've had more S10s than anything. We all started out as mini truckers, and we kind of evolved into that. But my dad has been doing the hot rod thing since I was in Underoos. I don't know if you remember Underoos, but I got pictures of in front of the house with his 57 Corvette, his 36 Coupe, and 55 Chevrolet, and I'm out in my little Spider-Man freaking undies and t-shirt. But, it's a passion. I love them both. And it's a good balance. It's good to have that balance where I can kind of bounce back and forth when I could bounce back and forth. Now I'm kind of stuck, but shows are finally starting to roll in. So I'm pretty excited about that. So
I think it's cool too that you, first of all, we got to be almost the exact same age. So my son was a class of 2020, didn't show, but showed. And I did have Underoos, and all last week I was rocking the Gypsy Road Cinderella, and nonstop, like the whole album. So 100%. It's funny that our generation is we were lucky in that our parents were listening to Merle, Waylon, Ronnie Millsap, Kenny Rogers, Dolly Parton, to the whole thing. But then,
right.
38 Special. Sweet. We're gonna have and so seeing you in concert, it's cool because you get to let loose on some of that. When you've done the C10s in the park, it's so cool to, obviously a lot of us are just loving it when you're rocking out and you're letting loose. So I think that for you to kind of think, man, how am I the guy that loves, big hair, but I'm also the guy that likes George Strait. That's our generation, man. I mean, if you looked at, people used to look at my iPod. No, yeah, it was an iPod. Yeah, the iPod
at the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Your Nano.
Yeah. And they would just be like, what is your deal, bro? And I'm like, what do you mean? And they're like, I don't know if I'm going to get the Oak Ridge Boys to Alabama to Guns N' Roses to Eazy-E, right? It's like, why are you listening to DJ Quick? And then freaking the Oak Ridge or Alabama is coming up, and I'm like, dude, I love it all, man. Except for now, I am definitely the old guy because my kids love taking over the radio, and I'm like, here's the deal. I got one rule. Yeah. If I can understand it, you can play it. If I can't understand it. And so I'm like, God, I'm getting old, but
yeah, it's gotten bad. We've gotten old, and the music's gotten really bad. My musical ADHD is exactly like my car building ADHD, but it keeps me moving, and it keeps, my brother me and my dad are the same when we can jump from this truck to that truck, and I can get a stopping point and I can jump to that one out there. And my brother can't. He has to stay on one thing and finish one thing. And I keep everything moving better than I can get pissed off at one thing because I can't find anything for that one thing. I'll go over here and I'll be looking for something for this truck and I'll be like, oh, and I'll come across something for this one and then I'll go do that, and it's always knocking stuff off the list and keeping things moving. So that's what keeps me just not focused, but motivated, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I guess like for me, if I'm typing something or writing something, my wife just is like, how do you, so I mean, I'm going to headset up and I'm jamming out, straight up jamming out, and I'm literally writing or typing something completely different, but I'm jamming out. So my brain, it's like soothing to my brain. So I think if like your brother, I love to do this to the audience. This is our Dr. Phil segment where we're going to analyze, Jason's ADHD and Ronnie's ADHD and the squirrelness, but that's how we work, man. I mean, it's like, hey, if I had to just worry about one or two little things, dude, my brain will shut down. My brain is if I'm not going 55, I can't drive 55, then I don't even know what's going on. Like it definitely screws me up. Whereas I'm the type of guy where it's like the more the better. So obviously we got that in common as well. So so you grew up, it sounds like, building square S10s, which were so rad, and they're still rad. They're coming back. I mean, not that there's that many of them left, I mean, in that good a shape, but it sounds like your dad taught you a lot of stuff.
Yeah, he did. And it was just, it's all we knew. I didn't graduate high school. I went for a while, and all I cared about, my mind was at the shop, and I was because that's what I was into. I was building my own stuff and figuring out and just doing it repetitive. We would get a new S10, I'd take it apart, and I had a square body Blazer a few years ago, and I just pulling I knew where every single bolt of that whole truck is with my eyes closed, and it was just
Big Black. Is that the one?
The K5. No, it was a 4-door S10 Blazer.
Oh, a little Jimmy S. Okay, yeah.
A little bagged one. And
Yeah.
I always wanted a 4-door for some reason. People were like, why do you want a 4-door? I was like, well, in 94, my granddaddy passed away, and that was the last year of them. And we rode in one to his funeral, and I've always wanted one. Well, it was just one of those stupid things. We want everything we had when we were little, or that we wanted when we were little. We get it, and it sucks.
I don't want the underoos. That's the only thing I don't want. I don't think my wife wants to see me wearing underoos.
Yeah, I don't want Inkies or BBS wheels either.
Inkies with Eagle ST wrapped around them. Some Goodyear Eagles.
Man, I miss the Road Huggers though, dog. Remember the 225/50 Road Hugger 15s?
Oh, yeah. White walls out all day long.
Yeah. I did a few square body S10s. A couple of really badass ones. I ended up finding my dad's shop's right on the highway on 59. So everybody that has anything for sale would stop in. They see what's out there and they would stop in. Well, I went to this garage in Porter, we call it Portacan, Texas, and it was sketchy as fuck, dude. I walk in there. Anyways, it was a Cyclone drivetrain, complete. Everything but the intercooler. I got it for $750, and had the transmission converter to 2-wheel drive, and I put it in a little 2,900-pound single cab square. Well, I couldn't afford an intercooler at the time, which it ran fine without it. And I think I was running 17s, and I Impala SS takeoffs, bald 17 BFG. So I went to the track, ran it. I think I ran a 1330, just boiling them down with no intercooler. So I could imagine what that truck would have did if it actually would hook up and have an intercooler. But that was a pretty fun one. And then I ended up getting a 94 extended cab Sonoma, and that was probably my favorite one ever. The Ruby Jean that I got now, I'm going to eventually paint that purple like that truck was and kind of make it, but it's way on the list. I've got lists that are, stuff sitting around that I probably never get to.
How do you, hopefully you can hear me. How do you, sometimes I could tell what's yours and what's not yours. I mean, you have so many irons in the fire from the different builds. And for the audience, I mean, one thing that you do, and I want to really give you credit for this, and dude, your names are spot on.
I'm a way better namer than I am a builder.
Well, we got that in common too.
Yeah.
Because I love naming them. But yeah, you are a great namer. Ron Burgundy, that might be my favorite, dude. You killed it on that one, obviously. The Grim Reaper, that dude. So who owns the Grim Reaper?
Grim Reaper's mine. I do 2. I just started doing 2 customer builds at a time only. And that happened right when COVID happened. I did those 2 square bodies, and one's gone. The it's more like a teal green and white, but it looks blue and white in the pic with a camera. But there's a blue and gray 80 Sierra that I'm doing right now for a buddy of mine as well. But they both kind of sold at the same time. I posted one for sale, full build. Well, within 10 minutes, I sold 2. So I had to go get one that I had of my own stashed and sell them both. And I didn't do the numbers on it. It wasn't the smartest decisions I ever made, but I kind of just had to, instead of relocating to Mexico and becoming a bullfighter, I had to just suck it up and do it. So, but the 80, he ended up just going all out on it. And I did chassis fab, front and rear suspension, had it all powder coated. And it's that Porsche Riviera blue with the Lexus Nebula gray down the middle. And it's going to be a sweet truck. But I've got that one in the red fully shaved one that I'm doing now for Tyler up in Arkansas. But that's probably my favorite name I did yet on his truck. The red
Johansson, Lohanson.
Scarlett Lohanson.
Yeah, that's right. She's right there too. Big old lips, looking hot. Yeah, Scarlett Lohanson and Ron Burgundy, and the list goes on, and he's gonna share them with us as we go throughout the day. Is Sierra Blue one of them then? Because that's so. Yeah, we don't ever really get to see Sierra Blue much. So I was wondering, because I just don't see you post that much of that truck.
Right, that one's kind of that's the second one that I'm doing for him, and I was trying to make LST with it. So when I get down to the final couple months, I don't post anything because I like to unveil for the owner and surprise him. And I wanted to put it in the show, and I did a bunch of surprises he doesn't know about. And the weather actually really screwed. I'm trying to do paint and body work and stuff, and I had this filler primer I'm using. It was taking 6 hours to dry, and it went to totally freezing and everything else. And I told him, I said, man, I can try to get this there and then bring it back and finish stuff up. Or he's like, dude, take your time. He's been really good, really patient he knows it's a piece of artwork now instead of just a daily truck that he's buying. And he wants, and I told him it really stuff needs to cure, and it takes a lot longer to build a custom bed with a hatch that open, and everything's, you can bolt shit under the truck, air ride all day long and be fine. But if you want stuff to open up and look good and where you want to show people you can't just throw this shit together, and he understands that. So that's kind of where I'm at on that one.
And that's the 80, right? Because the slope nose, which is the 2-tone, kind of looks more turquoise and white. That one's gone.
Yes. Yeah. That one went away. And I think he actually sold it. He kind of bought it as an investment deal. He's never really had a C10, and he enjoyed it for a little bit and sent it. I think a girl bought it. So we got some girls in the scene coming up with them C10s.
That's good. We definitely have a few. I got to get back to the Grim Reaper, because the Grim Reaper, when I hear it, when I see it, I wish I could smell it. I'm back to Cinderella, dude. I'm back to Metallica. I'm back to Rat. I'm back to it all. I mean, you took an 80s style square body drag strip, 550 cubic inches of awesomeness, and you just put it, metal guitar in a truck. I mean,
right.
Dude, your vision on that truck is amazing.
I can't take full I can take responsibility for it, but I can't take full credit for it. It was the motor and trans. It's got I think he said up around 35 grand worth of drivetrain in it. I would have never in a million years spent that. I've never had anything this radical, not even close. And it's funny when I traded an OBS for it that had a LS6 and a 6-speed, really nice truck. And this one had a real outdated 90s paint job, or maybe late 80s, I don't know. And the interior was really outdated, but he had spent a lot of money on that dark triple nickel 555 big block. It's got a FTI turbo 400, the stage 4, the bad son of a bitch, and it's got a Fab 9 rear end that's built for 3,500 horsepower. You know, it's overbuilt where you can beat on it all day long and you ain't gonna worry about anything. But the funny thing, we pulled it off the trailer. Me and my son went and met him and brought it back, and we had to bring it up to the shop because I don't want to wake the whole neighborhood up at 11 o'clock at night. I'm getting off the trailer. So we pull up, started up. Took me fucking 2 hours probably to get off the trailer because of the damn shifter. I'm sitting here like I don't know, like.
Is that where you have to lift it up? You have to lift. Yeah.
Right. I'm like a grown ass man with
something.
a PlayStation 37. You know, I fucking don't know. I got to like put up your dukes. I got fucking no dukes. So I don't know. So I finally get it in reverse, and anyways, we pull it out up on the road out here, and step off in it, and we're like, I don't know if you ever seen the baby that's in the little baby stroller on the memes on your phone, you know, and he kind of have it, and he just scares the shit out of him, you know. That's how we both were. I fucking stepped on it for 1 second, and we both looked at each other and said, "Holy shit," you know. And I did it about 3 more times. I'm like, dude, I'm gonna go put this up tonight, but I've never felt that much power and just the sound, and it was pretty awesome, you know. And I want to take it to the track bad. My dad's like, son, because you need to get rid of it before you break it. You know, I was like, well, I don't think you can break it. And he's like, trust me, you can fucking break it. I've been doing this a long time, you know, get rid of it before you break it. And it's the longer stuff sits around here, I revisit stuff, and I'll take a bunch, which most of the time I don't give a shit what people say or what they criticize. I do, but I don't. But I take all the criticism, and then I pick a couple of the main points that everybody like generally doesn't like together, and then I'll change it. Like, you know, the big elephant mirrors, I like them on everything. That's just what I grew up, and my dad's C10s had those mirrors, and that's what I'm used to, you know. But you know, that's one thing that I shaved the mirrors off of it, and just little stuff. But it's sitting up, it's up on the lift right now, just chilling.
She's a radical dude. I mean, the name again, like, it's funny because your dad says, "Oh no, you can't wreck it, son," and you named it. Obviously, you did your spin on it. I almost think that might be your specialty. You say that maybe that's not something that you have. I think you're absolutely wrong. From a guy who you have vision. His powertrain, cool for him, but you took it to a whole nother level. The name, the touch, the paint, everything about it. So I think you're in a market now where your creative flow. So no different than you doing your music. That creative juice has got to go somewhere. When you intertwine that with your ADHD and your mechanical ability and your creativity as well, dude. I mean, it's so fun to come up with, you know, and watch what you do from your names, your styles, mirrors. I mean, come on. I mean, whatever, right? There's little things that you're not going to hit, you know, everything. And the thing about it now, for you and I don't know if you've watched Cobra Kai yet, but Johnny Lawrence says it best when he says, "What do you mean you've been bullied?" "Yeah, I've been bullied. Somebody talked shit to me online." "Are you kidding me? In my day, we had to talk shit right to somebody else's face so they could punch us." Right. Talking shit. Well, nowadays people just talk shit and they get away with it. Right. So you don't really talk shit, you know, at least our generation. I don't feel like it's like, dude, I'm not going to just bag on somebody's stuff like on Keyboard Warriors, but
it's unbelievable to me, dude. I get so sick of it. And I don't even hardly get online because not even me. I just go on somebody's post and somebody's like, I would never in a million years, I could never see myself going on there and putting my 2 cents. Like, you know, like, who gives a fuck what I think? And I wouldn't want to piss somebody off.
I know
that day, you know what I mean?
That's because you've been punched. That's
right. But if they fuck with me, then I'm going to make them, I'm good with my words, and I'm going to make them wish they're like, man, I don't even want to be on this street.
Yeah, I don't even want to go to the street anymore. JC's gonna freaking knock my ass out. But so I think you know, regardless what you got going on, I say you go have some fun, be safe, and make sure you've got the 5-point harnesses, you and your son both. But you might want to move that thing down the road. And it's a good time. It's a good time for a guy who, you know, paying the bills and your style. It's awesome. I mean, think about it. Your page wouldn't be successful. You wouldn't have people dropping stuff off. And the list goes on and on. So Scarlett Lowe Hansen, that is yours, or you're building that for somebody else?
No, I'm building that for a guy in Arkansas.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you did say that. So you got that for a guy in Arkansas. Tiffany is back. Well, she's getting some love now, whereas Willie, took her virginity and freaking took everything else with her, right? So let's
took her under bridges.
Because to me, Tiffany is your girl, right? That's the one you're never gonna sell.
Right.
But Willie, my God, Willie gave me wood, man. Hey guys, I have Jim Flanders, Brothers Trucks on. Jim, what's the latest?
Same old thing over here. We're grinding away, selling truck parts, and really focusing on our YouTube channel.
The cool thing is, myself included, I'll check that channel out. It's a great customer service, a benefit to us. When we buy something, we can get in depth and know a little bit more and know the ins and outs, especially to watch it even before you go to install the product. Yeah, absolutely. And we built a tech center in the back of the warehouse, so we literally bring in new products. We'll build them onto a truck or put them onto a truck, and we can see instantly how much work it's going to be, how easy it is. And we put that out to our YouTube channel so people, like you said, they'll be able to look at it and go, you know what, I can do that job in a day, or I can do that job in an hour. And it basically just completes a whole package of not just selling the product to a customer, but really backing them up when it comes to showing them how to do it, and just making sure that they've got everything they need to get the truck back on the road or keep it on the road. Like I said, I've watched it myself. I love it. Now, I heard you're rearranging some stuff over there. What's going on in the warehouse? Yeah, we actually, this last year, we've been building a ton of inventory. And for a long time, we've always said, if you don't have it on the shelf, it's hard to sell it. People want to have it on the shelf. They want to know they can call and get it out the door that day. So, we're just trying to be more efficient. We're trying to have more inventory on hand. And, we've done a really good job at building inventory over the last 25 years. So I think that's what's putting us in the lead in this truck market for sure. I totally agree. Brothers Trucks, you guys, for all your Chevy and GMC truck parts. And don't forget, they're putting new stuff on their YouTube channel all the time, so check it out. Thanks, Jim. Thank you. Hey, guys, I got Greg Carpion from Dakota Digital. Greg, it seems like a lot of people are intimidated by the installation. What are you seeing out there?
I hear and see the same thing on the phones at the shows. A lot of guys say, these look cool. I want this, but, I have to bring it somewhere. I can't put them in. But the reality is, it is doable at home in your own garage. I mean, you've put them in 2 trucks, and I would almost guarantee putting the gauges in Orange Slice was easier and faster installation than Yellowstone was.
It really is. You have your stock harness, you trim it up, and then everything goes right into the control box, and step by step, the instructions are there. And the support behind the gauges is also with you guys.
Definitely. Like you said, we're going to use some wires from the original harness. The senders are going to come with their own. So we give you what has to change over. And if you get elbows deep in this thing and just feel overwhelmed, give us a call. We've got tech guys on the phone in the building with me here in South Dakota. We've got some YouTube videos. You've got quite a tremendous group of people to draw upon in the C10 Nation that have all done this sort of thing. So you can get it done one way or the other. We can help you out.
Most definitely. And another common question, I'm sure, is what about an LS or an LT-based swap?
Yeah, we're seeing a ton of that as you are. And we've got some really nice modules that'll plug in right into the diagnostic port and basically ask for a bunch of info straight from the computer and put it into the cluster. It's a big time saver, cleaner installation. Love them.
The creature comforts and the modern technology's there. You get the look, you get the style. Thanks for all your support, Greg. Dakota Digital, dakotadigital.com. Marquet has been in business for over 40 years. It all started in the original owner's garage. From humble beginnings of a couple parts in a garage to a 2-building manufacturing facility making over 6,000 parts, Marquet has grown to be one of the country's premier truck parts manufacturers. They not only design the products, but also design the tooling to build the products, guaranteeing quality control. They have made their original parts from the original trucks. Aluminum strips are double polished, creating a mirror finish, and crystal clear anodized. They use the highest quality, hand-selected show quality wood that will hold up over time. Why? Because it's kiln dried to precision moisture levels specifically for Marquet. They stock oak, pine, and many exotics, guaranteeing extremely fast delivery. All parts are manufactured in-house in Oklahoma City, USA. They offer quality parts built by Americans for old American-made trucks. So when you're looking for body moldings, bed strips, bed wood, and so much more, think Mar-K. That's mar-k.com. Because to me, Tiffany is your girl, right? That's the one you're never going to sell.
Right.
But Willie, my God, Willie gave me wood, man.
Willie was cool. He had this thing, man, and the guy that bought the Red Dragon in Tuscaloosa, I didn't even plan on getting this truck. You know, he sent me a picture of it, and I was in the middle of I think buttfuck Egypt, and You Got a Pretty Mouth somewhere in between. And he sent me pictures of it, and I opened I couldn't even download the pictures. You know, I got Backwoods Mobile, and I didn't get the pictures till like 6 a.m. the next day, and it was rusty, just in a dark corner, and it was just. He's like, "You need to take this with you." I'm like, Well, I get there, I'm like, "Fuck, I need to take that with me, dude." You know, so but it was after I'll jump to the Red Dragon for a second. He wanted that truck ever since, you know, I finished it, and I got with Scott at GSI, and I ordered a full chassis for it. And I was going to body, you know, put it on the ground, put it on rockers, all this stuff that I wanted to do to it. I started scraping the paint off of it, and I wanted it to be, it was a cool driver truck, you know, but it had original paint underneath everything. And Sketchy had put the Sketchy logos on it and had Pat do all that. And then he cleared over the kind of the factory patina and all this other stuff. Well, I went over the top of that again had Pat go ahead and flame the whole thing, and then cleared it again. And then I'm like, man, this truck's too clean and too slick.
Maxwell?
Pat, yeah, Maxwell.
Yeah,
it was too slick and solid to just have shit paint on it. So I started picking it all off, and I started selling shit off of it. So RC bought the American Forces on it, and the chassis, and the Cummins, and then he bought that, not all together. You just keep buying. Oh, okay, I'll buy the AccuAir stuff. Okay, I'll buy this. I said, dude, I'm sitting here looking at this fucking pile of shit with all the paint peeled off of it, and I'm like, just buy the whole truck, dude. I don't even want it anymore, you know. So he's like, okay, what do you make me a deal on it? So we ended up working something out, and I get up there, and I tow it all the way to him in Tuscaloosa, and I said, man, I don't feel good about this. You paid me pretty good money for this, and gave me a new LS3 with like 11,000 miles on it, the one's in TIFF now. And I said, give me some money back, you know. So I give him $8,000 for Willie, basically on a shit chassis. But basically I just bought it because the patina was 100% original paint. And the guy that he got it from was his buddy at the time. It was a long bed that he had shortened. Well, he shortened it pretty much perfect, because the fenders on the normal short beds, the behind the fender, that it's really freaking short, and it's not really, you know, symmetrical. So he left a little bit more on the back behind the fender, and it made it look better. And it gave it, the cool part about it is I put it on a regular frame, and it gave me this much room to put the batteries behind the frame, behind the bumper. So when the bumper flipped down, you could service your batteries or whatever else. But it was pretty cool. But yeah, that truck, man, I wish I could have spent a little more time getting a few things worked out on it, but it was such a rush. I was 24-hour a day before C10s in the Park the year before last, getting it done, because he was driving. Literally, he said, okay, I'm leaving today from California, and I'm going to see you tomorrow at C10s in the Park. I was like, okay, fuck, I got to stay up all night and get this thing done. And, you know, he called me 4 hours before, and he was 4 hours out. So I had to load it up and go meet him. He had a few problems in California, something with the brake line, just little shit, but I wish I could have. I like to drive them for a while. You know, I've got 1,500 miles on Slamford now, and I like to drive the shit. I mean, I didn't get a chance to drive that one at all. You know, maybe I put 180 miles on it.
Yeah.
You know, that's no time for shit to fuck up, you know, so, but he loved it, and he sold it again now because of COVID. Somebody offered him a shit ton of money for it. He'd, you know, be dumb not to take it. So it's out there somewhere.
Yeah, and I don't think I knew that it was a long bed, but the patina on that truck, and then obviously you taking everything off Tiffany was, I don't know, man. Willie was it was a heartbreaker. And I'm not a big 67 small back window guy, but
I hate them.
I think
hate them, dude. And the only way I like that truck is because it looked good with the step side bed.
Yeah,
it worked with the step side bed.
Yeah. I always tell my buddy Johnny likes them, and he just sold one. And I said, hey, the reason why, the only time, I don't know what it is, but the 67, but I feel like the smaller the window, the bigger the wheel. So you got to have a big rear hoop. I just, whatever it is, it makes it look more like a race truck. So if you're going to have a 67, it's got to have a big ass rear wheel. I mean, 12's
right.
minimum all day long. And something about that, kind of offsets it. But Willie's patina, he had the look, and obviously, so Tiffany's getting all the good parts. She's gonna, come back, and but is that one of those things where you don't have time for Tiffany because you're so busy working on everybody else's shit?
Exactly. I have no time. I'll order a part here and there. But it's up on jack stands. I actually got the wheels back on it that I had on the Reaper for a while because they were shit on here, dude. It was like literally like driving on glass or on ice with those 405s on this truck. It was horrible. I was like, this ain't even any fun. I want to feel a little bit of G-force, a little bit of traction in that thing, but it's sitting up on jack stands. It really needs to come all the way back apart and be plumbed. I kind of set it all together to get it out of here because it was taking up room. I don't have very much room here at all, especially with all the shit I got. And I decided to order a new tire machine and balancer last week. It's over here that I had no room for. And, but it's stuff that I've been needing. I ordered a blow up paint booth. I've been going to my dad's an hour away and painting stuff. And it's just, you've seen Gas Monkey Garage and everything else. It's just too much room for air. I don't want cabs rolling down the fucking highway and whatever else. So now I can set the paint booth up inside and control, the climate or whatever. And I got the elephant trunk or whatever you call it with the exhaust fan to blow the shit outside, or I can set it up outside. And so it's going to make things a lot better for painting instead of having to use the shit at the house. You can't control it at all, so.
Yeah. And time, like you said, from transporting from dad's back and forth. Now, what I think we saw, so El Diablo's chassis, we saw the chassis at Dino's. What's going on with that truck?
It's a little bit here and a little bit there. I actually texted Sneed the other day and checking up on him and haven't heard back, but I got the fenders on the wall. I got the hood and the bed out here. The chassis is over at Ryan's. Can't think of his last name right now. He worked for Extensive forever. He's doing all the plumbing on it, and I think he might be taking it over. Hope, as far as getting it all, basically we're getting it all roughly done like it is, and then we're going to pull it back apart, and then I'm going to get it painted again or fit or touch up everything. I got to get Pat to come back and touch up some of the shit that got messed up throughout the couple of years. But Heath Moore's doing complete total custom interior, custom dash that flows through. It was supposed to make SEMA last year, and thankfully, I don't know, they might not feel the same, but I was glad we didn't have to rush to get that done because MTX is on board, and they sent a bunch of, we're doing all in bed system, and he's doing all this crazy subs in the bed and all this, shit. So it's going to be rad one day. I've tried to get him to chop the top off of it. And I thought we were at Gringos, and I was like, they were drinking margaritas and I was half lit on Diet Coke. I figured we might got ourselves talked into making it a roadster, but I don't know where we stand on that, but it's going to be cool one day. Hopefully they're shooting for SEMA. So,
Yeah. And I think the OBS movement really, SEMA, it's going to be interesting to see how it all kind of shakes out with all these trucks and what fit and what doesn't make it. And I think that, just like you said, I mean, it's one thing that you kind of brought up as one of my bullet points here, Heath Moore and obviously Extensive and just you growing up trucks with your dad is, dude, Texas has some amazing builders. I think I want to say you guys probably are at that point where you guys are leading the way. I think obviously for a Texan, you're like, yeah, no shit. We've always been leading the way. I think it goes back and forth. I think Florida has a style, Cali has a style. I don't know if Arizona has a style. We're stuck in between Texas and Cali.
Right.
I feel like you guys just have some amazing builders. I mean, we got a country star, who's building trucks because you grew up building trucks and you're building rad trucks. So I find that very unique.
Right. Yeah. I don't think, along the way, I've seen a couple of other country artists that are into them. I can't remember the guy's name right now, and he does a little bit of stuff, dabbles here and there, but I don't know of anybody else that is full on tard like me as far as doing that. But
yeah, I mean, if you're gonna paint, body, everything, I know I forget his name, Yee guy. He's building his grandpa's square body. What the hell's his name?
Granger.
Yeah, Granger. He's building his grandpa's square body, so he's working on that right now. But I mean, to the point where you are, I don't know. I think, yeah, I don't know. I think I'd be, if I was your agent, you'd be like, nah, because you got to play that guitar. Your hands, you're every night you're putting lotion and all kinds of heel shit. What's the shit we used? Cornhusker hands. We used to put that on our hands because they'd get all cracked up and cut.
Oh shit, I got that shit everywhere.
I know.
I got some stuff at the house. It's called monkey something, but I call it doo-doo butter. Why she likes the way it smells. Because you want to go put that doo-doo butter on. I don't know what it is, dude.
Maybe
monkey hands or something.
Yeah, she wants you. That's when you're like, baby, I don't need doo-doo butter all over my body. Leave me alone. Yeah.
Quit rubbing the doo-doo butter on your face. That's weird.
We were talking the other day, my buddies and I was like, what is your wife's interpretation is different from your husband's when you need suntan lotion put on your body. It's like, babe, I don't need suntan lotion all over. Like, yeah. No, suntan lotion doesn't lead to sex. A back rub always leads to sex. So, so duty butter and monkey butter and whatever else, I'd be worried about you and your hands. But so yeah, I think it's pretty cool that you are a guy who's, you're strumming on Fridays and Saturdays and you're building on, Sunday through Thursday. Obviously, when COVID isn't, what it is, and I think we're, hopefully getting a little bit out of the weeds here. So. I mean, you're doing it full time. I mean, I think when we watch your page, you're cranking.
Even more than that. If I'm anywhere close to where we're playing, the guys will head out there and I'll work till the last second that I can get home, take a shower, and get to the show. It's almost ridiculous, but
which we know that means longer than the last second, right? Because we've already discussed that. If I'm on time, I'm late.
Right. Exactly, dude. I'm wired when it comes to time. Like I said, if I'm not early, dude, I'm freaking out. And but yeah, I've got to a point this year though. I'm not going near as hard as I had in the past, and I've really slowed down as far as
building and performing, or building.
Just everything. I don't work on Sundays, no matter what. Well, yesterday I did. It's Sunday right now. Well, besides today. And because I was trapped in the house for a week, but it's mine and the wife's day. We chill, and I don't work it on Sundays. I don't work late besides today. I'm just trying to catch up now, but
which is good, right?
The stress level is unbelievable less. I feel so much better, and it's great. I'm starting to really appreciate and soak in the finer things, and that's going home and watching our TV series with the wife and hanging out and doing stuff instead of always being up here. And, and it makes me start to resent the place up here, So, definitely, I just turned I'll be 44, I think, in July. But my dad's 74 or 75. He goes as hard as I do, if not harder, but longer. He's at the shop every day, no matter what, at 6 a.m. And it's crazy to me, but he shuts down at 5 no matter what. But I know it's weird. It's in my blood. And I've seen him working that hard his whole life, and that's why I do it, I guess.
Now, does your dad do it for fun, for pleasure, for buddies, or is he still building and he's not retired?
No, he's not retired. He still taking in whatever he can to make a living. He does his stuff on the side, but it's more of a when he gets to it type of thing than doing it for fun. But he worked for Mr. Paving Company and for a long time, and he was going to retire from there. I don't remember what happened, but he went, I think in 99 is when he started doing vehicles full time. And there was a place called the Rib Sticker. It was a barbecue joint that's a mile from my parents' house. It burnt down, and we ended up getting that property on Highway 59 there. And that's when we built a shop there. And he's been up there ever since. So, and my brother's up there too. He's 5 years older than me. He went to the Air Force, and he's been up there ever since. So it's crazy how the time has went, 20 years ago now, and sitting here. Just I don't know. We old, like we were talking about earlier.
Yeah,
it comes out of nowhere. People don't blink. It happens before you know it.
Sometimes my brain hasn't got the email yet. My body feels it, but my brain hasn't got the email yet, and that's that's a part of.
I know. Trust me, we're the people that like, oh yeah, we're still cool in our minds and stuff, and then we're like, oh shit, what are they? We're the old guys now. They're thinking we're the old guys. We're not.
That is a 100% a conversation I just had at work like about 2 months ago with a buddy of mine, because I work for the fire department. And so I've been on coming up on 24 years, and now we're hiring these guys. We hired 2 guys that were born 2 weeks after I got on the job. So that makes you feel old, and you're like, oh shit, man, I guess I'm the old guy now. So me and my buddy look at one another and we're like, are we the old guys now? Are we the, for example, the guy that was Tim or the guy that was named Dick or something, are we those 2 guys now? We're those old fuckers now. Yep. We're those old guys now. So, yeah, hopefully a little bit older, a little bit smarter, and it's just having fun. So I guess I would say, how are you looking for the balance? So, cause you've taken in all this work, which is awesome for us. But then once COVID starts to, calm down a little bit, you're going to be out on, performing.
So, I've actually been booking a lot lately. It's starting to open back up again, but it's weekend stuff, and I've never, ever since the Lewis tour back in 2016 or whatever, 2015, 2016, 2017, I haven't been going far since then, since I kind of took a hiatus for the kids and stuff. But when I was touring with Aaron, we were going all over. And, I'd be gone for weeks at a time. So there's pretty much the Texas scene, is what we're doing Friday, Saturday stuff. So it's not really going to change much of anything. I usually work on my stuff during the weekends anyways. So it'll just be time away from my crap. That's why I've busting it today and yesterday, trying to catch up on some stuff that I need to do to my crap before tomorrow kicks in, where I have to jump back on their stuff. So I at least have to have my shit where it'll move out of the way. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You got to get everything out of there. I think it'd be cool to see the balance, see how you kind of, again, back to performing and then working on your stuff. And I feel like you have best of both worlds right now, but it's obviously a lot and you're managing it. What do you think about the response of Slamford there? I mean, that thing, it's for the audience. Slamford is, what is it? Your 49-ish through 54. Obviously it's a Thriftmaster first gen style truck. It's long bed, big ass hoops, 24, like what, I can't remember your fenders you guys were putting.
23 and a half or 24 and a half, something like that. Yeah. It's a vision I had for a long time. And it just came together. It was one of those weird things. It was a square body dually. Well, it was actually a long bed, single wheel, 80 model. And then I had a short bed frame. So that stuff went on. It's actually the Sierra Blue now, but I had a long bed bag chassis here. And so I ended up starting to build a square body, and Big Slamu was his name. And, and then, and then Dino's happened the year before last, dude. And it was like, I swear to God, dude, 11 million single cab dualies, just pictures. They were all grouped together, fucking drones in the sky taking pictures and all that stuff. And it was like, you couldn't open your phone, you couldn't even, you look at the phone book and there was pictures of single cabs, square body dualies. So I'm like, all right. I don't know. Nothing takes the wind out of my sails of me being excited than one or two or a few's cool, but man, it was just overwhelming. Every idea you could have in your mind to do it different was pretty much in the same picture posted up together, So
you're right.
Like,
right.
Okay. So I had that 54 Kenny Rogers, white, silver, old, and I was like, so I started cutting the fenders, and I was raising the channel in the wheel well, because I wanted the wheel to sit right, the cap to be right, just like it is, where that fender touches that cap. But it was a half ton. So the fenders the gaps were way smaller and it was way lower. So I got one fender cut, and my buddy Chet over in College Station, he's got that badass 72 yellow and white or mustard and white 72 on the GSI chassis.
Oh yeah,
on the Steely.
Marlboro Light. I told him he should name it Marlboro Light. It's a long bed he cut down, big old 2415s.
Yeah.
I know him.
He's like, hey, I got a 6400 over here, or big 2-ton wheat truck, oat truck or something. I was like, now you tell me. I spent a day fucking with that fender, So I went over. He's like, yeah, it may be a freaking stupid deal, dude. I'm like, okay. So I loaded the trailer up, went and got it. But the funny thing is, when I pulled Kenny Rogers off of the chassis it was on, he bought that chassis for $200 to put this one on, because he pulled it off this. It was the frame on that sucker. It was one of those big old tilt bed. It was fucking huge. And he pulled it off of that. And
so this was on a huge chassis?
Yeah, from Oklahoma. It was a farm truck, like big time.
Yeah.
And so I went and got it, and then I had this chassis sitting here. So I laid it on there. Right when I got home, there was videos of it. I pulled it under there, lifted Kenny Rogers off, shoved this one under there, and I had it on there. And I'm jumping in out of the front end, lifting it up, all as one piece, getting it all mocked up and shit. But I ended up ordering chopping block, complete front suspension, drop member to get the wheels pulled in like I needed them. And Travis over at Pro Performance, dude, he's a lifesaver, and I get everything I can from him, because he's going to make it happen one way or the other. He's like, they probably don't, but I'll get it done, So we ended up, he got with chopping block, and I used C30 ball joints out and used all the half ton chopping block stuff. There's some stuff I had to change, and because it's a lot of size difference and length difference as far as the geometry of the huge C30 spindles and where the rack goes out to and stuff. And I had to use pretty big spacers to get that all to line out. And for a long time, I was running triple bags in the front, because the angle of the top bag plate was pretty tall, and I would use 60 pounds just before I'd ever get the truck off the ground. So for the first couple months, that's something that really bothered me about it. So I ended up making another angle spacer and bringing that bag where I can run a double bellow bag now, and drive with 75 pounds in it. It freaking rides like a Cadillac. But it all came together great. It's just something I've always wanted to do, and I wanted something when you are driving down the road and you see it, you're like, what the fuck was that? And I've literally had, the first day I drove it, I was paying attention to everything around me, and I drove it to COD to get the exhaust done, and there was these construction workers up on 2854, and one of them was kind of looking at me when I was driving at him. The other guy was talking to him, but he's kind of looking the other way. He pushed the sumbitch down. He's trying to get his attention. He's like, dude, look at motherfucker fell on his face, Get
out of my way.
Yeah. And then I was driving to the store, and I passed some lady. I guess she had her windows down, and it was almost like that Deuce Bigelow. And she goes, son of a bitch. I heard her yell out the window. It was just, I get hilarious reactions, and that's what I wanted. But when I first threw it together, the guy that wanted Willie, that bought Willie, wanted this truck. So from the get-go, I went in the direction of he wanted, style-wise, color-wise and stuff. So it's not exactly like I wanted this big matte black, red interior with big spikes on it, kind of like Jeepers Creepers shit rolling down the road. And it would have been called Dragula.
Dude, you're your worst enemy. You come up with the names. I know the feeling, man. We need to hit the same therapist because I come up with these names and then I want to build these trucks, and my wife and my friends and everybody else are like, really, dude, why don't you just draw a picture? And then Cassidy's actually doing it. I think what you did with Slamford is obviously perfect. I think the color, I think it worked out. I think you now have to almost kind of admit that because you didn't have to paint it. The wheel well versus the square body looks perfect on, this advanced design first gen truck. It looks absolutely perfect. And like you said, the reaction that you get because it is an old Oklahoma farm hay thrift master truck. One of my favorite times in my whole life would be the day that I took Yellowstone to Dino's and unveiled Yellowstone. And my kid at the time, he probably was like 13. And he's like, whatever, Dad. He's in the front and I'm turning the corner, almost getting to Dino's. And this guy's on the corner and he's in a Volkswagen Beetle and he's on the corner getting ready to turn right, I should say. I'm turning left. And he just screams, "That's fucking right." And my son had this smile and I looked over at him and I'm like, yeah, it is. Yeah, dude, this is the shit. Right. And so you're getting the reaction. And like you said, when you go back, don't get me wrong, single cab, long bed, square body dually is, they're sexy bitches.
Right.
But it's been done every which way but loose. And now you've got freaking Slamfred and it's, got stacks and you're rolling and people are shitting their pants.
Right.
That's the money maker.
That's exactly what I was after. But now it's gotten to a point. Just earlier, I went to the gas station and then to Sonic, and now everybody knows the truck. And I literally, I like being on incognito as much as possible, but now everybody knows it. So I literally get followed, and no matter where I go, I have to sit there and talk. And I like doing it at times, most of the time, but sometimes, like earlier we were talking, I was just, when I'm working all day and it's cool outside or whatever, and I just come to a sudden stop. I don't know. A lot of people, I get flushed. My blood pressure feels like it's high or whatever. My face is real hot, and I that's why I kind of just had to take a cruise earlier and chill out a little bit. So, we're old guys, we got to take it, take care of ourselves. No, but
I think the cruise is what's best. The problem is you're not doing a very good job of staying incognito when you're rolling around in awesome, whether it's the Grim Reaper, Slamfred, Tiffany, Willie, the list goes on and on. So I think and we haven't even gotten into Hillbilly Deluxe, right? So even Hillbilly Deluxe, I'm sure there's other LBZ 06, 07 classic, Duramaxes running around town, but not ones that are dumped.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
You're not very incognito, dude.
I've been working on that.
It's funny
because yesterday I drove to get those LS motors that I was working on. Was it yesterday?
Hey guys, I've got Bobby from PSI Conversion on the phone looking at LS LT based motor swaps. Bobby, why should we choose PSI Conversion?
Ronnie, our harnesses are made right here at home in the U.S. Our product lineup includes the early 90s Gen 2 LT motors, Gen 3, Gen 4 LS VotorTech motors, and Gen 5 LT and LT4 packages. We have transmissions ranging from automatic 4, 6, 8 speeds, and soon to be released our new 10-speed, in addition to all the manual options out there.
Wow, you guys cover everything. How do you deal with intimidation factor when a customer is doing their first LS or LT swap?
Great question, Ronnie. But the thing is, there's nothing that we haven't seen here in the LS and LT world. If you grab almost any motor out of a junkyard, you want to Frankenstein to build together or even supercharge it. Leave it to our sales team to help guide you along the way to the products that you need for your restoration. We have over 10 years of experience in the market, a tech department that is available to help troubleshoot and diagnose any issues or questions that you have along the way while installing your PSI products. Couple that with a staff that is going to be standing by our product with pride, made right here in the U.S. to a GM quality standard. Our team is happy to get you wired up and fired up.
And don't forget, guys, use code C10TALK and you'll save 5% off your order. PSIconversion.com. PSIconversion.com. You want to save 5%? Use code C10TALK at checkout. Thanks, Bobby.
Pro Performance works hard to bring you the best products for C10s, but also keep up with the people behind the trucks. Like Ronnie says, the people are the best part of this hobby, so we're going to be at Lone Star Throwdown in February to peep some cool trucks, sling a few parts, and shake some hands. You can take advantage of rad cash and carry deals when you stop by the booth. Keep pro performance in mind for top brands like Bear Brakes, UMI Suspension, Shot Wheels, and Boyd Welding Fuel Tanks. It's all on azproperformance.com.
I've got Kathy White, Classic Performance Products, CPP on the line. Kathy, how's it going?
Hey, Ronnie, what's up?
What's up? What's new?
We've got a ton of things for the C10 community. First things first, our 2.5-inch Extreme X10 drop spindle. So we've upgraded the current modular spindle to modern technology. This new X10 spindle is a one-piece forged, but it utilizes strong, modern, bolt-in, internally sealed bearing hub assembly. So it's low maintenance. It doesn't move the wheels out, and you can use big brakes from us or any aftermarket big brakes out there in the market.
That's awesome. What else is new?
So we have actually gone back and redesigned our aluminum fuel tanks. As you know, our fuel tanks are the thickest, strongest, and largest capacity in the industry. But now you can actually use the same tank for either a carbureted or a fuel injection application. 63 to 72, it's 20 gallons. And for 73 and newer, 22-gallon capacity.
How about that coilover kit? You guys must be killing it with that thing.
That is such a great kit. It's fully bolt-on. It's easy to install. Strongest tubular arms in the market, available with either upper and lower or just the lowers or just a coilover kit by themselves. All the mounting brackets that you need, and it also comes with dual adjustable coilover shocks. So it's really responsive. It's up to you however you want to tune the compression or the rebound. It's perfect if you're just cruising on the streets, and it's proven on the track.
Well, that's what we like. So if you need spindles, the new X10, fuel tanks, coilovers, they've got it. Classic Performance Products, CPP. And don't forget, use code C10TALK, C10TALK at checkout and save 10%. Thanks, Kathy.
Thank you, Ronnie.
Yesterday I drove to get those LS motors that I was working on. Was it yesterday? Yes, it was. Well, I drove to Katy. I picked up two, one here in Magnolia and two in Katy. Well, I'm driving back, and it's just my work truck, dude. I don't ever spend no time on it like I used to. I get stuff where it works.
Hillbilly Deluxe?
Good enough. Hillbilly Deluxe.
Okay.
And then I keep going, so the notch isn't done in the bed. It's wide open floor. You put your shit back there at your own risk. It might go through the back window. It might fucking not. So I got 3 motors in there, and I'm driving back down the Beltway, and this black dude pulls up next to me. He's like, yeah. He's just hanging out the window, his little buzzer, his little Bumblebee car, and he's just happy as shit. Well, then he fades back a little bit, and then I air it out, and I'm rolling pretty low, and he comes back, and he's videoing, and he's just like praising hands and stuff, and then he rides off. I'm like, that's cool. I ain't got much attention in this thing, in a while. Well, about not even 15 minutes later, Chris, the guy that owns Sierra Blue, texted me. He goes, "You got you some engines?" I said, "Yeah, I'm running trips. Like the boats. That
yeah,
I guess that's what they call it. I had 3 stacked right across, and if they would have been just a little bit further, they would have probably fell into the fucking seat notch." But he's like, "Truck looks good, man." I was like, "Really?" I get all these compliments on it, so I was like, "I'm gonna give it some love." And I finally started doing the tubs in the front today. Well, I started at 6 last night, like a dumbass. I was like, "Hey, babe, I'm gonna go." Well, I don't know if you ever seen under the hood of one of those, dude. They don't need all that shit under there.
Yeah, I've got an 07 Classic, same white, just like that LBZ, man. But mine's 4-wheel drive, and it's a short bed, crew cab short bed. But I'm a Cat Eye fan. I'm an 06, 07 guy, Classic. I call them leftovers. So mine's a 7. So I call it don't ever tell the freaking parts guy it's an 07. You'll have a headache. Just always.
Yeah, it's like the 62 Bel Airs. They had some bubble top bodies left. Luckily for us that have them, there was 1,200 of them made. But
just tell them it was a 61, right? So you're like, no, it's a 61. I don't want no 62 parts. It's the same thing. I don't want no.
Well, that's funny. Parts. I got the best of both worlds now because mine's a 61 that I sold all the 61 shit, and I'm doing 62 quarters. I got everything 62, so it's going to be I think
61 and a half.
Yeah. the running name right now, it's not set in stone yet because it's not just a fucking banger, but it's Bell Ain't.
Ooh.
Instead of Bel Air, it's Bell Ain't.
I like that.
But
now is that because what's the 8? Are you running an 8? What do you? I mean, where are you coming up with the 8?
Bell Ain't. It ain't a Bel Air.
Oh, I get it. Bell Ain't. I thought you were selling Bell Ain't.
No, but yeah, my dumbass. I'm tubbing the 06 for 26s, so I got literally this much. There's no place to raise anything. I'm having to move everything out, and I section the firewall because I'm going to body drop it. Once I get to that, I don't want to have to redo all this shit. So I'm getting it up there now. So when I do body drop it, all that other stuff will be done. I just got to, it shouldn't take me a couple of days.
You're going to get more dudes hanging out the window. Freaking yeah.
Yeah. I'll be incognito.
Yeah. My ass will be incognito. Yeah. Those days are over, brother. So give me one that you wish you had back. One that you sold in this long run of, you think about it. You've been working on cars, trucks for 15, since you were 15. So let's just say 30 years. You've had a lot. I don't think you keep them long.
No, I actually keep stuff longer now than I ever did when I was younger. I think by the time I counted when I was 19, I had roughly like 40, little over 40 vehicles. I didn't keep them long at all back then. In the first 2 years, I did keep them long. So, but every time I would sell something that I built, Dad would make me pay my insurance for a year. So that's how I would kind of know that I had the first 2 for about a year. And then once I turned 17 was kind of my third year because I started when I was 15 having shit. And but yeah, it was, people used to say I change vehicles like I change underwear, or like they change underwear or something. I don't know. But that was pretty true. I didn't.
I wear my underwear for a week. I sell my cars and trucks in 3 days.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. So, but that was back in the days of Auto Trader. People don't know the struggle of Auto Trader, dude. You would turn your pictures. You would go take pictures. You would go get them developed, and you would take the best pictures you possibly could because you prayed that you would get the cover. And I did get the cover one time. And going to every Friday or Thursday at some stores, you could rush there Thursday, get it, flip to the back. I'd open that motherfucker from the back, start from the back for the parts section, and then go from there. But
those are good times. Now that that's gone, that you say that was a fun time for us. I feel like ours came out on Tuesday. So I feel like that just the reminisce at how you're saying, like, to look in the back, mean, for me, it was the ATC Trader and the truck trader. I mean, those two was nonstop, man. I'd Circle K here in Phoenix, bam, I'd grab them. And, I thought I still had the ad from my first C10. I still own my first C10 and I don't have it, but I remember the store I bought it at. And I remember the whole thing, buying it, 2:30 the first day, call the lady. She's like, I bought a bunch of calls. I bet you do. I'm on my way right now.
Right.
Yeah. So the funny thing is the struggle, like you said, not only for the people out there listening, and this is just funny, reminiscing for the old guys, let us have our time here. But the part that you hit that was even funnier is that you'd have to take the pictures and then develop them. So whether or not that was, and if you're going back to all the way to 17 through 20, then you were doing, 24 roll exposures, snapping a bunch of pics. You got a 24-hour turnaround or Walgreens or wherever the hell, 1 hour printing.
Right.
You were going to wait for that shit anyway.
Yeah. Or you could drive down to Auto Trader and they could snap a Polaroid that was going to suck and you would guarantee not getting the cover. So struggle was real for sure.
Struggle was real, but those are good times now that you say that. You look at it and you're like, man, all the shit I had to do to put a ad in, or when it would get, come out, you were there. Right. You were at wherever they would come out and you'd bring it out. So you don't have one that you wish you could have back, or which one do you wish you could have back?
Man, the Red Dragon still is probably my all-time favorite. We drove that truck. Man, we used the shit out of that truck. Just me and the whole family.
I feel like that was kind of your identity for a while, because that was that was a time when we just knew that was your truck. I mean, that was kind of like synonymous with who Cassidy Customs is. I mean, obviously it was painted and plastered on the side of the truck.
Right. Yeah. And it was one of the first, I was just getting back into, I've never been as far into building and stuff as I am now. And I've gotten so much better in the last year, in the last 6 months, just at stuff that I never really push myself to learn much, you know, and I would weld back in the day at my dad's shop with, you know, he had a better welder and a bunch of good stuff, and I would get the job done, but I never, in a lot of these sites and a lot of these, you know, following all these badass freaking robot welders, which are people, you know, Chris at GSI and all these guys, it pushes us to, you know, we won't ever be anywhere close to them, but it makes you think twice and want to better yourself with that stuff. So I bought, you know, a good welder last year and really pushed myself to do the best I can at everything I do. Is, you know, like Jordan says, the day I stop improving is the day I walk away from the game. But it's so much more fun now, and I've been investing in better tools and I'm, you know, metal brakes and bead rollers and stuff like that I've always been interested in. But I've, you know, just sitting there doing it, you know, and it takes time. It's a lot more time than, especially when I have so much stuff around. I like to get rid of a lot of this stuff so I can actually focus on, you know, spending more time doing all that shit and learning that as good as I can.
Yeah, but it's like the welding. It's like you got to have stick time, right? You got to just constantly be behind the hood or under the hood.
That's all it is.
And just
that's
weld. Guys like you and I are freaking squirrel. Oh, we're here, over here, new truck. Yeah.
Right. And I get people all the time. It's like, dude, I've never welded anything or whatever. I say, we were all sucked at everything at one time, you know, and until you do it, you buy something and start doing it and welding as much shit as you can and doing whatever, you're not going to get bit. Nobody just picks up a welder and is fucking just a badass welder, you know, and the only way you're going to do it, like you said, is just beat the block with it and do it as much as you can, just like anything, you know. And I'm definitely, I'm almost maybe to an amateur by now.
Almost. Get behind that mask.
Yeah, man, it so much has to do with the machine though, and that's what, you know, buddies of mine told me. Once I bought a good machine, it's night and day difference.
So do your dad and or your brother, do they come over to Cassidy's Customs? Do they come help you sometimes? Do you get some time where you get the family?
It's weird. I go there as much as I can, but it's weird. Neither one of them have ever been here.
What?
I swear, dude, I don't get it. I don't understand it, but I'm doing stuff that they never even come close to. You know, dad's told me probably 15 years ago or something, you know, well, son, he builds badass stuff, but he's like, I want it to bolt back together the same way I unbolted it, you know, as far as cutting stuff, moving here. See, I've got to a point in my, like, I look at something, it's like, I'm going to cut that and move it. I don't think twice about that's going to fucking suck or whatever. Just like body dropping, that I was considering that, you know, for my 06. So I'm going to do it. But I was like, I'll just start cutting, dude. And I was like, we're fucking doing it now, son. You know, I've never once thought, I probably shouldn't do that yet. I could start some shit, dude. Man, I wish I had somebody to say, hey, hang on. Don't do that yet.
It's like the big picture.
Right. But, you know, dad's different.
That wouldn't be fun.
Right. Exactly.
Think about how much fun you've had by just cutting some shit up.
Exactly. You know, nobody's ever remembered for just bolting something back together the way that it came apart. Besides my dad, but it's definitely more fun like this, you know. And I'm the mock-up king. I love mocking shit up. I want to see what it looks like, you know, where it's going. But you know, this seems easy, but the fenders were actually lower. I had to channel the fenders and rake so everything lays at the same time. You know, I took 1.5 inches out of the bottom of this fender to get it to lay on the pavement. The rear fenders, I'm having to extend 1 inch to get them to lay. And I was going to do that this weekend until I started messing with my 06. But I have a buddy named David Gosnell, and he does metal work, and he's gotten a lot better in the last couple of years too. He actually built this fender on Slanford, and I built the other one, me and a buddy of mine, Ariel. But I texted him yesterday morning. I said, dude, I've got so much shit to do. Do you want to come fucking do these fenders? He's like, he's fixing pipes. Everybody in Texas is fixing pipes, but me, I got lucky. And my wife kept reading all this stuff. She's like, baby, what about these pipes in here in the attic and stuff? And I was reading this. I was like, babe, you keep reading all that shit, you're gonna fucking make me have to fix pipes. They're gonna break. Just let it keep doing what we're doing. Run the water in every sink, and we're gonna be fine. I promise you, dude. I swear to God, every 9 out of 10 people that I text, hey, what, man, fixing pipes. It's like, dude, I don't know. We got lucky, but that's not here or there. That's what he was doing. He said, I'll be there Monday. And so I'm going to get him to fix those, extend those fenders so I ain't got to mess with it. Because like I said, I got so much other shit to do.
So are you going to be able to bring Slamford to LST?
Yeah, I'm going to drive it out Friday, whether it's got running boards on it or not.
Okay, cool. So that'll be fun, because I think everybody's going to want to see that thing. And so that obviously makes sense why he's going to come out and work on that. Give me a truck that you want to build that you haven't built yet, or, that's like, man, I've always wanted to do this.
You're going to think it's silly. And this is just, I started thinking about this in the last 2 weeks for some stupid reason. I had an H2 about probably in 2014, 2015, black on 40s, but I want a Duramax H2 for some reason. That's just this week.
So why not a Duramax H1?
I don't know. They're cool, but I don't know what it is about the H2. It came out. I just loved them when they came out, and I liked the one I had. But next week, I won't even. I'll laugh at the fact that I even said that. So,
how about give me something that when you were a kid that's kind of still always kind of been there, something that's always, that hasn't went away, whether it's a C10, an H2, Bigfoot, barefoot, slammed up, big, little.
My dad's had a 69 Camaro since 1981. He still got it. It's got 34,000 original miles, Super Sport. So that's been around my whole life. He had a 67 Corvette that's been around my whole life, and a 66 Chevy too. And he sold both of those in the last couple of years. And one, Matthew Bolin has a 66 Chevy too. And I didn't know my dad sold it. I thought I was getting that car. Yeah, I found out through the grapevine. I was hurt. So I actually I offered him the Reaper for it the other day. And he's like, man, I'm going to hang on to it for a while. I'm never getting rid of it or whatever.
You offered him the Reaper for the 69.
For the 66. No, Matthew, for my dad's Chevy 2-back.
Okay.
Which is, I don't know. The reason the Reaper's still here is because I don't have it fixed back up nice enough to sell it yet. I'm really weird about, I know what it's going to be worth when it's like it is in my head, like I want it. And I don't want to let it go for less than just to push it on down the line. I want it to be right when it leaves here. So that's kind of why it's still here. Unless I can find a buddy and, trade one of my dad's cars back for it or something. Then they can deal with it.
I feel like with the Reaper, you're close.
Yeah. Oh, it's very close. There's some paint stuff. I'm going to respray the whole thing. I used a cheaper clear, and I've learned my lesson. There's 3 things you don't fucking go cheap on: paint supplies, toilet paper, and toothpaste. That's it. Every fucking time you're going to slip a finger or something's going to happen.
So why toothpaste?
Exactly. So,
no, why toothpaste? What's wrong with cheap toothpaste?
Well, I don't really know.
I got the toilet paper. I don't want to slip a finger when I'm wiping my ass, but
yeah,
I guess so. Maybe you don't want to have bad breath. Maybe that's why. It's
just I don't really know. You just shit tasting toothpaste or whatever else. It just doesn't work. I don't know.
Yeah, I've had some of that natural stuff, and that stuff's horrible.
Maybe I'm blaming the shitty toothpaste I've had my whole life because my teeth suck. I don't know.
They look fine. They look fine. So what else is in the stable? So you talked about your Impala 61 bubble top. What else is in your stable? Because we see trucks all day long. What else does the Cassidy Customs clan have in their stable?
I've got a 94 OBS crew cab dually sitting back there that's on the list. And I got a really big piece of shit that I'm excited about. That it's an 83 full convertible GMC Jimmy.
83 full convertible GMC. So 2-door.
Yeah.
Oh, you're going straight mini on us.
No, it's full. It's a K5.
Oh, it's an 83. Okay, so it's I was thinking it was a little mini.
No,
oh,
I
okay.
cut the top off.
Okay.
Yeah. So this guy had a huge 4x4 K5 listed, and he was parting it out, axles, everything else. So what do you want for the tub and the title and the chassis? You know, he's like, what? Why do you want that? You know, I was like, fucking, what do you want for it? Because I'll cut it up way faster if it's cheap. You know, I'm not going to buy an $8,500 one and cut it up. Well, $100. It's like, fucking bring it. You know, he's like, well, it don't roll or nothing. I said, well, back it in here and I'll lift it off with my lift and, you know, whatever. So I bought it and I found a top and the window post, doors, everything from a full convertible for $600. So I had $700 in it. Went to Dad's and got a full front suspension, stuck it up under there. And anyways, I'm doing that K5 Acme chassis, laying hard rockers, no pinch. I'm fucking laying hard rockers, and I'm gonna chop it 1.5 inches where you walk up to that son of a bitch, it's gonna be sitting at your nips, the top of that bitch. I don't want to chop it where it looks like it's chopped, but just enough where, you know, it's low. So I'm super excited about that because I love the way the K5s look with the tops on them, just sitting on the pavement. And there's very few of them. I haven't seen any full convertibles, and I've never seen a full convertible chop.
So, but you're going to make it a roadster. You're not going to put the top back on.
Oh yeah. I'm chopping the top too.
Oh yeah. That's going to be,
yeah,
that's going to be legendary. That'll be cool.
Yeah. I've already talked to my glass guy. He was here last week. He's going to cut the quarter glasses and all that shit. So
yeah, that'll be cool. That'll be something you don't see. So 83 and you've converted it to a full top, full convert, and you're going to chop it. And then you're going to make the top so you can use it off and on.
Right.
All right. That'll be cool. And then did you have doors or you just got full convert doors?
I got them with it and I used them as a pattern to cut better ones because they were rusted as shit.
Oh, I get it. Okay.
I didn't use hardly any of that windshield frame either. I used it as a pattern and cut the other top right to it, and then basically just used from where the rubber weather stripping leaves that definite line right above the windshield, cut it on both because they both pretty much lay in the same exact spot, and used all the pinch and all the bent shit where the top goes on, and then attached it just like that. It's not attached yet. I haven't welded it all out, but it's cut and everything is sitting together.
What style wheel? Like a big hoop, big rear? What do you think?
Yeah, I'm thinking 2412s, or being that low, I wish I could do 26s, but they're going to hang over the bed rail. There's nothing more gay than that.
Yeah, so, I think before you're fine, you know, but you might even have to go bigger. You know, I don't know if you can fit. Obviously, you can do 14s, but that might be too much.
Yeah, I'm gonna do 12s. I'm kind of over the 15 thing, and that I would be doing 12s on TIFF if I didn't have a $2,800 rear end in there, you know. And I actually called Griffin. I was going to see if somebody wanted to trade me, but mine's set up, you know, it's for the truck, so it's just gonna have to be like that. So, but yeah, I want to do 2412s, 24s in the front, and I'm not sure what style yet. I kind of like I like twisty wheels on squares. I don't like them on 67, 72s. You know, I like more of a straight 5-spoke type deal or whatever. You get too twisty, it's almost like putting what are those Eagle 212s? Remember the Hardy billet specialties and stuff? People put them on 67s. I'm like, man, that's a 90s wheel. I hate seeing 90s wheels on older classics. It just doesn't sit well. But
and you put the twister on Grim Reaper, right? It's got a little bit of a groove to it. Whereas on a 67 72, I mean, let's face it, whether it's a torque thrust or whatever, I mean, it is kind of timeless. So we grew up looking at that, right, and you see that. And then, you know, and I think the late 80s, and you think about the squares and some of that early sport truck movement, you know, that's what they started to do. They started to twist things around. And I don't know, I think a weld, you could look at an old weld wheel and you can't go wrong. That, you know, that's the hard part about a wheel, that's the biggest gamble. I think a wheel, you get the right wheel, fuck, it's over. right?
Oh, they make or break. They make or break everything.
You get the wrong wheel, and you're like, oh shit, what? Oh damn, what did he do? Like what?
Yeah.
What did he do? Right? So then but if you're good at wheels, and it's like, hey, go for it, dude. Sometimes that's probably, think about this. That's probably one of the number one most bounced around questions. I'll ask you, do you come up with a wheel in your mind and you don't say anything? Do you ask your wife? Do you ask your buddies? Do you ask all these other guys? Because to me, very rarely am I going to solo a wheel. I mean, I'm pretty much going to be like, this is what I'm looking at. This is what I'm thinking, and some guys are like, nah, that looks stupid.
The main reason Tiffany's not done is because I haven't decided on a wheel.
I get it, man, because that's your truck, right? That's your girl. You did everything, and you're like, if I don't get the right wheel, I gotta get the right wheel with her.
And everybody liked the Raiders, and I liked them at first, and it was an endorsement deal, so I left them on there for a while. But I don't know. It's almost like people I got more messages about those wheels, and they almost made me like them more. But I never really loved them. And looking back on it, they're just too busy. And I haven't seen really anything if they look good on, but Willie, that something about Willie, they look great there.
You would have never picked them ever for Willie, but they actually worked. So that's where it's crazy sometimes with the gamble on a wheel with Willie. If you wouldn't have had them, you would have never picked them for Willie.
No,
but it worked.
Right.
And it's the damnedest thing with wheels. It's so hard. That's why I think people go safe a lot of times on wheels. They just go with a safe wheel. I guess that's where with social media too, we're such a copycat world because people see a wheel and they're like, oh, that works. That works with that. I'm going to do that. Where the balls is to do something, and obviously anything that's billet, that's custom, like two-piece, you're like, shit, how am I going to spend the money on that?
Right. I got something in mind, and it's out of my connections, which kind of sucks. But every wheel that I've kind of decided on, I'll see one with them, like the same color and stuff. And I'm like, oh fuck, I'm so glad I didn't buy those, and it's happened probably 15 times with that truck, but I've got one that I'm pretty much decided on, but they're big money. They're not Scott big money, but they're up there, but it's a full polish that I've seen the gray silvers or the gray centers and stuff, and it just kills it. I need a full billet wheel as much as I hate polishing and everything else. And it was either that or a smoothie. I wanted to do like a I don't know, a Delmo or something like that, but it'll be cool. It'll be clean, but it's not going to be fucking wow. That fucking tip, it's just going to be, hey, there's a 67 rolling by clean.
You have to do the wheel that you're talking about because it's Tiffany, and you have to do it that way to make it pop. And that's the problem is you already built the truck. You have to build the wheel. You can't put a piece of shit wheel on a truck that you've already done full chassis, full everything. She's your girl. You have to do it, and I've had this conversation with guys. It's crazy. It's like, you have to do the right wheel. You can't wear, I don't know, whatever. We could go on and on, but it's like, you're not going to wear your beat up old Vans. I was going to say that, but then I'm like, shit, people do that all the time. They wear their beat up old Vans
I got my beat up Walmart shoes on.
Those are nice. Those are.
Yeah. Look, they're fucking holy.
I like those because you get all the ventilation. So you don't get stinky feet.
They're airs.
There's zero air. O2 air.
O2 air.
Instead of a Bel Air, they're air.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're air.
I give no fucks when it comes to putting. My dad used to change shoes all the time. Like throughout the day, you change shoes. I'm like, Dad, why are you changing shoes? Now that I'm 43, I know because my fucking feet hurt and I need to change shit up throughout the day to keep my flat ass feet comfy. You know what I mean?
O2 air.
The air. So, yeah, dude. Like I put on my Jordans and I jump just a little bit. And I put on my airs and I fucking fly over the goal.
It's a synergistic 3 times. You're flying, dude.
Yeah.
Big air. Give me let's see. What is I was gonna say, who's a builder that you watch? Who's a builder you really like?
Man, I don't really watch TV. I mean, I do.
Well, just what about social media? What a C10 builder, a truck builder? Doesn't have to be anybody on TV.
Okay. Man. I don't really know.
Okay. While you're thinking about that, how about a truck that's not yours that you're like, fuck, I like that truck?
Man, there's tons. There's tons. I don't know his name, but he's got that LBZ laying rockers. He built a full chassis for it at his boss's. I don't know where he works, but he's got a big. Basically, he uses boss's shop to build it. Two foot is or something is his Instagram name, something like that. But that bitch is pretty badass.
I'm gonna look it up right now. 2 foot.
2 footers. 2 kilo motherfucker.
Two.
Condylite.
It's what? You're breaking up like me. You're 2 foot. I got 2 foot AZ. I don't think this is the same guy. I don't know. Maybe this is. No, that's a car. All right.
2 footer. 2 footers. Can I look with you here and it not disconnect?
I don't know. Let's see.
I did it. All right. Let's see.
2 foot. I'm 2 foot.
NR 2 footers. There yeah, it's NR underscore two footers.
Okay, NR number two or oh, there it is, Sean.
Okay, no regrets. This ain't the truck, but it's one of them. I don't think this is the one with the full custom chassis.
Okay, yeah. So this is NR. So no regrets, and he does have a. So he's got an early like the 99 to 04 style
right
grocery getter here that's just so that's gonna be hillbilly deluxe here pretty soon, right?
Yeah, it won't be long.
Yeah, so he's bagged, body dropped. That's early style. It's funny because he's that looks like it's like a 99 to 02 style. I don't know. I'm trying to see if he's got a year here, but so for the audience, it's NR underscore TWO foot FOOTAS. Yeah, cool.
Yes,
definitely got. I don't know if this shit's Photoshop, but he's got a Range Rover bagged out. I'm assuming it's not Photoshop because he obviously knows what he's doing. This is a sweet shot. He's got the ass end shot here. White crew cab dually, bag, body dropped, laying. That's pretty bitching. Yeah.
I'm trying to find the one that's got the full, it's a cat eye. It's got the full custom chassis that he built. And it's so badass. And
what color is it? Is it white?
It's white. It's the same one. That's what made me think of that one, but it's trying to find it. Low Mofo square body too, the black dually. He actually won the Ron Burgundy.
Oh yeah, so how'd that go? All your Super Bowl stuff, and you got your trucks and Low Mofo
85730. This fucking square body dude is unreal. 12 valve. It's just
5775. What is it? 85 what?
8675309. Yeah.
Jenny.
LO Mofo 85730. But this is a garage built truck, dude, and it's unfreaking real.
Yeah, here he is. Jason.
Yeah.
He's got a Ranger, dude. He's got a little Ranger in the garage there.
Yeah.
You've heard the Ranger song, right? That's been as viral as can be. Tell me you've heard the Ranger song. I'm no stranger. I know that truck. I'm no stranger. That's a Ford fucking Ranger.
Oh no, I ain't heard that one. It's got them eagles on it. You got them eagle, them eagle tri-fingers. That's the kind of wheel. That's what I'm saying when I see stuff like this on like a classic, on like a 47 to 54 something. It makes me want to. I throw up in my mouth. I don't want to, but it happens.
You can't control it.
Yeah. So, but look at his black square body, dude. It's on.
Yeah, I see it. It's That's as low as they can go. So for the audience, like you said, LOMOFO 85730. Yeah.
Yep.
Go. That thing shows him bringing it home, and he's pulling it with a big red dually square body, crew cab dually, which looks like it's, untouched C30. Now he's going to come and swap this bagged body drop. I don't know if it's body drop, but it's bagged. He's got he's got a lot of work going into the bed too. So check him out. That's Low Mofo 85730. We'll give him a follow back.
Oh yeah, it's laying rockers for sure, and it's all chromed out, the 12 valve, and it's I hate this term, but it's a 73 to 80. That's not the term I hate, but the other one. I don't hate it. I'm not hateful, but it's just, God, if there's words I could get rid of, vert is one, and round eye is the second one.
Yeah, round eye is. That's a big thing in the Jeep community too. This little Ranger's cracking my shit up with those wheels, man. Dude, this guy is cracking me up, dude. You guys,
they tens, but it keeps them clean.
Yeah, you got to check it out. So I like what he did on the dash of that black truck. Did you see what he's going to do for his name? So he had somebody do a custom dash emblem, and it's CUMSWAP.
Oh yeah, I think I did.
Swap.
Yeah.
So he obviously named this thing Come Swap. So this guy Lomo Fo is he's a PIMP, and he's
I'm picking him up from the airport Thursday, and so he can get Ron Burgundy. He's going to drive it back to Arizona. So,
dude, how rad is that he ended up getting it?
Pretty freaking dope, man. That's why I was trying to keep it off social media this year, because I wanted people that I knew to win stuff. I don't know. It's just fun for me to gift stuff, and then just some fucking Joe Smo that I don't know, that's like a cock blower or something, So, but it's cool that a guy that's in the community and in the truck scene and all that shit. So
yeah,
the same with the guy that won the K5, the triple deal. It's Derek O'Keefe in Dallas. He's buddies with Snowden and stuff. I call him Keefy D. He don't know that, but if you watch the Notorious Big documentary thing, that Keefy D was like into everything. I was like, oh, that's Keefy D. Oh, Keefy D. So, but it's pretty cool he ended up, I'm bringing it down 2 inches on the Big Black, and I ordered some of those 1510 race line rock crushers on 35s, kind of toned it down a little bit for him, but it's turning out really clean too. So that'll go away here in the next couple of weeks. So that one will be gone. Ron Burgundy will be gone. I got a guy that's interested in Slamford that's in Alabama. He wanted it real bad, and then Biden got into office, and he kind of panicked like everybody else. He's like, man, I don't want to spend no money right now, whatever. Well, the other day, the day before the auction was over or whatever, they picked the truck. He's like, man, he left a voicemail. He called. So I was going to try not to do this, but I mean, Slamford's the baddest fucking truck I've ever seen in my life, and I can't not think about it. So if they don't pick it, I want to buy it. So he messaged me after the game, said, let's let things die down or whatever. But I don't know. I'm on the fence about it. Like I said, I fixed a lot of the stuff that has been bothering me, and I don't know. It's cool. I could keep it or I could sell it, but my wife needs a new Escalade, so I guess I could sell it and do that. Her old one. I'm about to park her old one out. I said, I'm gonna bag it or lift it if I get you a new truck. So you can't get none for them things. It's funny, when they're 5 years old, they're like $1 billion, and then they get a few more years old and they're LS swap donor trucks.
Yeah, 6.2s, and they take a huge hit. Anything. I'm actually looking for my daughter. I've got a little Tahoe that I'm going to end up probably getting her. And it was funny, the difference between the 04, or so this is an 04, but 04 to 06, and then just jumping up to the other body style, which would be more of your NNBS. Your for Tahoes, I'm not sure if I don't think the Tahoe switched right at 08, 07, 08. So but either way, 08, 09 Tahoe. And it's like, it's funny how they just take that hit, you know what I mean? So they do take a big hit on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be fun though if you body dropped hers. I mean, that's what you got to do: sell Slamford and take Mama's Escadinale and bag it. The thing I like about Slamford is I love those cab lights, dude. That's the key.
They're fucking glass. They're like the glass, like a beer bottle. They're solid.
These are the real deal Holyfield. There's no fucking around back in 1954, 47 through 54.
No. I love it too, man. It drives. If you're here Friday, if you make it early enough, we'll go take it for a spin. It's unbelievable how good this truck drives. It doesn't. Looking at it, you think it's a big pile of tin rattle trap. I've got it so insulated, and it's just, I don't know, man. It handles like it's on rails. That front sway bar, and I got a rear sway bar as well. Big son of a bitch over the top of the frame. That's so it literally, you could fucking hit 75 on a 90-degree turn, dude, and it just hugs the road like it's a damn, I don't know, GTR. Remember the GTR? Like, remember the 3000 GT all-wheel drive twin turbo you spent, all the money on back in the 90s or the 80s?
Yeah, I didn't spend my money on it, but I know people that did. I think
not real money. No, the GTR, the Gran Turismo game money.
Oh yeah,
stay up for days saving up your money to fix up your fucking 3000.
That's like what's the game? Shit, I just played it. What the hell's the game? Why am I drawing a blank? What's the game we all played when we were kids? Ivan Stewart. No, Ivan Stewart. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Ivan Stewart. And you'd get more boost, you'd get everything. Yeah. So that's why you don't want to sell it, and that's why this guy wants it. It sounds like you're probably going to sell it. I'm going to speed round you here real quick and get you going so you can get some sleep and get ready for your business week tomorrow. So what's going on with with Jason Cassidy, the performer? Do you still write? Are you just going to kind of get back into things and just be performing with the band?
Yeah, it hits me at different times. I can't I went for a long time not writing anything, but I always write down ideas in my notes in my phone and stuff. But I wrote a couple songs a few weeks ago. I started writing one the other day. Just different shit hits me at different times, and sometimes I can write a song in 10 minutes. Honky Tonk Heaven was written in 10 or 15 minutes. That was my first #1 here in Texas. My Redemption was written 10 minutes, and some stuff I really have to work at. I get frustrated with, and I'll put it down because I'll get, writer's block with which way I want to go with it and everything else. But I wrote a really good one. It's probably gonna be the title track to the next album. It's called Best of Me. And just about my wife. Everything that my best songs I think that I've written are about her, because it's true, every last word of it, and also I want to make this record the best one that I put out with everything that I've written solely on it without, co-writers. And I've got to the point where I really don't take in outside songs anyways. I did on my second record because I was sideways with my record label. Everybody goes through that first record label where you get screwed, and they basically took the rights, the publishing to my first 2 albums. Told me they weren't, and they did. So, because it wasn't on paper, So I'm still trying to get those back, and but this next record and the last one that I released was probably one of my favorites. But it literally it came out the week of Hurricane Harvey, like the release date. And people lost everything, I'm like, oh, that sucks for me. Go buy my album though, dog. That's gonna make you better. You feel a lot better.
That's gonna make me feel better.
Right? Yeah. I don't know where you're living though. I know how I'm gonna be living if you spread the word and buy my album. So, but I didn't even promote it. So I would like to do a double CD or something with that track plus 10 bonus CD. Best of Me deluxe edition or something like that. So, but it hits me all at different times. I have a show this Saturday, which I'm not going to be able to be at LST Saturday. I might make it back for Sunday, but I got a wedding to play in Marble Falls, so we'll be heading out there. But I've, stuff's finally starting to trickle in. It's been pretty scarce, but I'm just blessed to still be able to, have some places we can play and have people that can go in, and a lot of the bars that serve food can get away with the licenses they get, can, have music and stuff like that. So, but it's definitely weird. I miss my rock shows and going to, I've got a lot of buddies in the rock industry, and when they come to town, we would always go, Korn and Godsmack and, Aaron Lewis, and just, stuff that I'm really used to doing, like all the rest of us, that just kind of just gone. It's just, you need that. We need that. Just go to a rock show. Just, it's what we grew up doing, and, have that taken from. And they, these guys, most of all of them, they don't have anything to fall back on. They didn't grow up a car guy that found out he could sing. They grew up signing their name first as autograph, then learning to play guitar because they wanted to be a star, and that's all they know how to do. So it sucks for all of them all the way around. But everybody's got, like you said, take the punches as they come, and you got to figure out a way to make it through it. So
I feel like we are going to have an amazing 2020, maybe not one, but 2022 when it comes to concerts and stuff, because we had tickets to here in Phoenix. There was a show with Poison, Motley Crue, Joan Jett, and Def Leppard that was all together. That got canceled. We got tickets for Rage Against the Machine. Pearl Jam sold out in like freaking 6 seconds. But I think that just because, like what you said, these artists are going to want to work. Not only do they really want to work, but they want to make money. So both, and then all of the fans are going to want to jam out, party, rock, and listen. So get ready, the world. Obviously, I don't think this is any kind of Nostradamus prediction, but if it's not 2021, 2022 is going to be kick-ass crazy. Right. Get ready to rock. Get ready to have a good time. Get ready to go to a concert, because they're probably all living off their savings.
Yeah.
Right? And you think about, like, whether it's the Eagles, whether it's, Van Halen, whoever it is, they're never going to get back together. The Eagles was famous for when hell freezes over and they get back together. You know why? Right. Because they spend money and they want to make money, and they're performers and they don't know how to go work on trucks. So yada, yada, yada. But so 717, didn't you write a lot of that? Didn't you write? And then I think that's cool too, because you were was it in Tiffany on the album cover?
Yeah. I think I wrote pretty much every song on that album, and the self-titled album as well. Yeah. And the first album as well. But the second one's, like I said, that was when I was having trouble with the label, so I didn't want them to take all my songs. So they basically took my biggest song, which is the wedding song. That's I've never released or anything, and it's like unreal big. So my goal is to, once I get those masters back, I'm going to make a video of this song and actually release it, and that'll be my, that can take care of me for the rest of the time until I write another big hit or something. But yeah. 717, that was Tiff. She was a long bed at that time. I think she might have even been sitting on Big Wide Whites. Yeah.
And then, What If, you have an OBS in that, or the video, obviously.
Yeah, that was actually filmed in Columbus, Tennessee, just north of Nashville. That was somebody's house. I don't know. It was a clean truck, though. I was checking it out.
I was wondering, so that's the whole point. I'm kind of wondering, like, does he get a part in this, or does he check this stuff out, or what's he thinking?
Yeah, no, it was just one of those things. Ryan, I can't remember his name at the moment, but his first video that he ever directed was Crossroads from Bone Thugs and Harmony. And but he had an awesome way of recording stuff that kept the interest, your eyes and everything else, with movement, and always the camera always moving and everything else. But he's done some really big stuff. but we flew to Nashville, and they had everything already lined up. We went out there and shot for a day, and all I remember the whole time, because I was on this, I don't even remember what diet it was. It was those drops you get at freaking not Eckerd's, but Walmart or some shit. HCG, I think. God, it was horrible. Dude, I was eating like mustard on salads and shit for like 2 weeks. I thought I was finna die. So
that was during the video.
Yeah, well, 2 weeks up to it to drop a few lbs. But man, after that, I went to Long John's. Dude, I got the biggest two big fried platters. It was like the first time I ever had chicken, man. It was so good.
You were hungry. What did you write? Things Waylon Wouldn't Say. That's probably one of my favorite songs.
Yeah, me and my buddy Randall Clay. He's up in heaven now, but we wrote that one, and we wrote some other ones too that we couldn't record or be too nice on. But that was the nicest one we could get away with saying, kind of how today's country music, so-called country music, has taken a turn. You know, for the click tracks or the snap tracks and all the stuff that it's became. And we wrote that one, I think, one day, and we wrote Willie the next day. But yeah, that was a fun one.
Who wrote Damn Good Beer?
That was actually written by what is his name? Craig Wiseman. He's a huge songwriter out of Nashville, and he wrote the good stuff. Kenny Chesney.
Mm-hmm.
But he's got so many number ones. But yeah, he wrote that tune, and which is it was hilarious. First time I heard it, I was like, yeah, I gotta do that. Somebody did a podcast. It was probably the first podcaster I've ever listened to. I don't remember. It was some talk show somewhere around the country, and they were saying they love that song, but they didn't like the good stuff. Yeah, man, that's the good stuff, or whatever. Something that I ad-libbed because to give him credit, kind of, for the other song, the good stuff that he wrote, you know. But they were bagging on, and the whole bar cheered. But when I put that in the song, I was thinking as I was seeing it live. Yeah. I wasn't saying how they were listening to it as, you know, I hit the guy in the head and then the bar cheered. You know what I mean? They were thinking, right. So I shouldn't have probably put it there because I should have seen it live. I wasn't thinking that happened in the bar after I knocked the dude out. But it's pretty funny. That's what I love about music. You know, everybody hears something different in a different way. So
what's the best way, because of the label and everything else? What's the best way? Like, let's say our audience hasn't heard of you or listened to you. What's the best way for them to listen and support you? What's the best way?
Man,
what's the best way so that the 62 cents of that dollar goes to you versus 8 cents?
0.07777 cents is what Spotify and all that stuff. Man, it's whatever, you know. It's just getting the name out there. I've came to a point where I don't really care. I'm not like Chappelle, you know. Until I get my name back, I'm yanking all my shows off. I still want people to get familiar with me, and just, you know, iTunes, all my records are on there. You know, it all comes back around.
Do you get paid for YouTube or no?
I heard people do. I've never really, you know, done much of that, but YouTube's fine. I think my distributed company, Smith Records, they post all my stuff on there, and they might get paid from it. I really need to probably follow up on that stuff, but it's like YouTube, people making YouTube channels and shit. I just don't have time to do that, man. I would slow down. I wouldn't get nothing done if I was trying to fuck with that shit.
We got the Romantics in the background. I have, Jason Cassidy on my, this is on my Pandora. I was just wondering if you guys get paid from that, or, I don't know, like you said, from whether it's from Pandora or Spotify or however somebody, an artist gets paid, just whether or not, like you said, how much money comes back to you. You know what I mean? I guess now with the way music is, there's plenty of avenues for it, for sure. Okay. So for the audience, obviously check them out. Let's go speed round and then let you get to bed. Let's see. Are you ready for this speed round?
Yeah. Let's do it.
So normally speed round is like, For me, it's going to be slope nose or 67, 68 or 71, 72.
67 all day, all night, every day.
So that's normally speed round. Speed round for you is different. Speed round is going to be Brooks and Dunn or Montgomery Gentry.
Man, what fifth? I don't know, man. Ronnie's one of the best singers I've ever heard in my life. Troy was a buddy, passed away. Montgomery Gentry, they're equally. I love them both.
Yeah, R.I.P. Was that 18? About 18? Troy died, and it was a plane crash, right?
Yeah.
All right, so Brooks and Dunn or Montgomery Gentry, or you're not going to pick?
Man, I'd have to put them both in one of those weighing scale things, and just from all the hits and the memories of so many years of, man, it's a hard choice. Only because Kix Brooks is just hard to handle. I'm gonna go with Montgomery Gentry, man.
Okay. This one's gonna be really hard. If that first one was hard, this is probably the hardest one of all time. I don't know, maybe.
Poison.
George or Garth?
George.
Oh, you made that homebody Texan took over.
I love them both. George is the reason I really started singing country music in the first place. And he actually didn't grow up listening to country in his house. He was a rocker too, believe it or not. And he it's kind of a similar thing, but yeah,
what's your favorite George song?
What is it?
What's your favorite George song?
Love Without End, Amen. Because there used to be a Pizza Inn in Porter. We used to go when I was little, and there was a jukebox, and I would always play it on there, and just it reminded me of me and my dad, and now it reminds me of me and my son. It's just one of those things. But he doesn't really have a bad song that he's recorded. So that was still, it brings me back to my childhood and stuff like that. So probably my favorite.
Yeah, George is he's the legend. He's been posting a lot of pictures lately of some OBS stuff. He's on his social media. It's kind of funny.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a lot of his pictures just good old George looking good. Let's go.
I can still make Cheyenne too. Probably my second favorite.
Oh, I love that song. Yeah. I love Troubadour, dude. It's such a classic song. Oh, shit. Here we go. God, it's amazing how fast you can do that. Keep going. I love it how fast you can pick it up. You've got obviously split.
Still feel 25. Most of the time, still raise a little cane with boys. Honky tonks and pretty women. Lord, I'm still right there with them, singing above the clouds and the noise. Sometimes I feel like Jesse Day, still trying to make a name, knowing nothing's gonna change what I am. I'm just a young troubadour. When I wrote in on a song, and I'll be an old troubadour when I'm gone. That was a good one. Telephone ring about 8:45. She heard his voice on the other end of the line. She wondered what was wrong this time. She never knew what his calls might bring. A cowboy like him, it could be anything. She always expected the worst in the back of her mind. I I get in George Strait like it shows, and we'll go for an hour when we're playing like longer sets and just go into George Strait night and just play George for hours, you know.
Yeah, that's I mean, dude, I can still make Cheyenne. That's a hard one not to love. You're right. Yeah. When you start to play it and you hear it and you're, just a lot of George's songs are just, they just keep on going, right? Forever and ever.
Yeah, for sure. There's one that's an older one that nobody really knows, but one of my favorites. Some people say I'm one of those guys. Great blessings in life overlooked. Sometimes I feel like the tattered, torn pages of some old paperback book. All the places I played and the money I made, I still had nothing to show. And the only thing that I have left in the whole wide world is you. You put your whole life into something you love. You never get that one big break. It'll take you out of them backstreet bars and put you on this interstate. But a million tears and a million beers have just about washed me up. And the only thing that I have left in the whole wide world is you. I gave it all I had every night for all these years, pouring out my soul till it was gone. I spread myself so thin, but I'm just barely hanging on. But tonight I'm with you, and you could carry me through. Just love me, and the only thing that I have left in the whole wide world is you. It's like 1981 or something. That's good stuff.
Dude, I don't think I know that George song, and I think I know a lot of George songs. What's it called? What's the name?
Only thing I have left.
That actually sounds like a Jason Cassidy song, to be honest with you. I'm no bullshit. It does sound like that song was meant for you. Have you recorded that? Have you re-recorded it or?
No. I've always wanted to, but it's one of my faves. I think it's 82 or 81.
I
was like 4 or 5 years old, man.
I like Big Balls in Cowtown.
Big Balls in Cowtown. Yeah. What about? I can't remember. Milk Cow Blues. I can't remember shit.
So 13 years old, you sing at church. Now, how about the guitar? You obviously you said, well, hell, if I'm going to sing, I'm going to learn how to play the guitar.
I actually started learning to play guitar before that. Remember Sears Outlet?
Yeah.
They always had the electric guitars, Court and different kinds and whatever. I got one of those. I started playing electric guitar, but I took lessons and everything else, but it didn't really take. And I don't remember what color. I think I had a black one, but I put red and white electrical tape all over it. Yeah. So
the hee-haw?
Yeah.
You were like hee-haw? You were watching hee-haw all the time? Got the tiger by the tail?
No, I was actually watching MTV 24/7, dude. And I was telling my wife last night, the life-changing video, the most life-changing video I've ever seen and song that I've ever heard was Welcome to the Jungle. The first time I seen that, it changed my life forever. And I'm still probably the biggest Guns N' Roses freak. To this day, I sit there and just binge watch YouTube stuff on Axl. I'm still a huge fan. And the Chinese Democracy album, I always shunned it because it didn't have the band in it. But the last few months, I've been just wearing it out. Like it's unreal. The players that they used on that album, like Slash is like me compared to those players on that album, is how great they were, you know. So it's and you can if you've seen them live, you can see Slash trying to cover the stuff that the guitar player did on that album. It's not good. But I don't know where I was going.
So they did that video. So I saw a thing that was the top 25 videos of all time, and that video is one of them. It's not the one. I don't remember where it was, but they say that is one of the videos that's obviously. And you go back to the very beginning of how we started, and tough to beat.
Yeah, that whole album, that whole era, man.
Yeah, puppets all day long.
I'm the same with Metallica. I binge watch them all the time. Last night I was watching. You got to watch this on Howard Stern, the Master of Puppets. That it was like 4 years ago, but I remember. And if you listen to Hometown Hearts, I mentioned the Johnson's Blazer. Every morning they would pick me up in the 86 K5. His dad handed me down to the Johnson brothers. Rick was a year older than Kevin. We called them the Bass brothers because they played baseball, and everything that came anywhere around them was going over the fence. And Rick actually was throwing 103. He was like the next Randy Johnson, dude. He would have did it. And his dad pushed him so hard, he fucking just stopped baseball and got a James Hetfield signature guitar. And he ended up moving to California and spent 15 years there chasing the rock and roll dream. You know, he's back here, just now moved back, and he's 45 or something, you know, but he could have been set for life, you know, but his dad pushed him so hard he ran from it. But every morning they would wake me up, dude, and I'd hear it coming down the street, you know, and it was the Black Album or Justice for All or Kill 'Em All. It was just, and they had the punch 3.5 plates in the fucking dash. It would just rip your face off. And the Series 1 Rockford Fosgate 15s facing back with a punch 45, like half channel blown out, bridged. And it would we'd just rock Metallica every morning before school, you know, and it was.
You get pumped before school. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Back to that story, I was fired from school because I didn't give a shit. Anyways, the counselor called me in and said, it's just not working out. You know, I was like, what do you mean it's not working out? She goes, well, you're more of a distraction here than an asset. I was like, well, what do I tell my parents? And she goes, I don't know. What do you tell them up till now with your grades and stuff? I was like, good point. I guess I'll see you later or whatever. So I don't even remember I don't remember anything after that. I don't know if my dad kicked my ass or if I just kind of went back to normal, went to work or whatever, but I ended up taking my GED and I aced it. My mom made like 50 copies. She went down to the store and printed off copies of my GED. She's like, he's not a dumbass. I told y'all.
What year did you make it through 11th grade?
Dude, I don't remember what exactly classification it might have been my third freshman year or my second sophomore year. It definitely wasn't my first junior year.
It wasn't your first junior year.
No, but it was my third year in the school in the building.
Yeah, I like that. So it was my third fresh, second soph, and well, it could have been your first junior year, I guess.
Yeah, I think I might have had 8 or 9 credits. I'm not sure what you need to be,
considered
smart.
A full junior smart guy, but you're like, I'm out.
Yeah, I had 3 were my 3 years in athletics. So that tells you how smart I'm not.
So you're just about like all the rest of us. School is not all that fun. You could chase the girls, and there were sports, and there was your buddies, and you could skateboard. You could do all kinds of other things. So and wait for the Bash Brothers to pick you up, and you'd have those punch. I think I had a punch 10 in my truck, and I can't remember the amp. But Rockford Fosgate's right here, River City. We're right down the road. I actually went to school with the VP's daughters.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, right there. So take us out. I've got the one thing before I do, because I've got some more speed round, but I'm going to let you take us out. But what about your dad's C10? Did you ever find that?
I have not.
The chopped C10?
Yeah. No, still looking.
Let me put the word out, and we'll
continues.
No leads from when you posted it and everything?
No, I had a bunch of people that messaged me different trucks and stuff, but it's the chop was so specific on it. It was, there's so many ways you can do it wrong, and there's not so many ways you can do it right. And I know every little inch of that truck. So it's pretty particular. Even if people changed it, I would know.
So did you grow up with that truck?
Yeah. He was building that, and I drove it a lot when I was between vehicles, 16, 17. I would take it, but it was a big block truck, and but it had these closed chamber. It was built for fuel mileage at the time. It could haul a house, but it was a fun truck, man. I don't know. I seen one, somebody had somewhere that they put big wheels on it, and it was kind of the same setup. It was a different yellow, and it made me like, dude, I need to get that sucker back. But
yeah, think about that going back. I mean, you're 16, 17, you're in your second year of freshman year, whatever the hell, right? And you're driving Dad's big block, chop top C10, into, Appetite for Destruction.
Yeah.
Life couldn't get any better.
Yeah, that's the truth.
Yeah, really. So I'm gonna let you take us out with whatever you want to play. We'll see you on Friday.
Okay, I'm not playing. I was just jamming. So what were you saying?
Go. Well, I'm going to take you out. I'm going to say jam out, have fun, do what you do. Thanks for your time. I'm glad we finally got you on. We'll see you on Friday, LST 2021, their 10th annual. And you got a wedding on Saturday, and you might come back on Sunday, but you're going to go with Mama. That's Mama's day.
Yeah, for sure. I don't want no whiskey. There's too much smoke here for me. I'm on vocal rest, so tonight I can't play. Yeah, that's something they wouldn't say. Hey, little girl, hop up in my truck and see if we can find somewhere to get stuck. Let's cuddle up and crank up a little T-Pain. All that's something old Waylon wouldn't say. And I sure do love this new stuff on our radio waves. The way they mixin' in the hick hop, I sure wish Hank would have done it that way. Yeah, that's something Waylon wouldn't say. Hey, pretty girl, hop up in my truck and see if we can find somewhere to get stuck. Let's drink a little moonshine on my tailgate. All that's something old Waylon wouldn't say. Who the hell is Willie Nelson? That's something Waylon wouldn't say. So I was going to do Ride of Your Life real quick too, and you can take your pick since it's kind of fast and upbeat. My feet are freezing. I should have shut that damn garage door a long time ago.
He had to get a jacket on for the audience. He was getting cold.
Hey, at least I didn't take my jacket off.
Or your shirt, your hated face shirt.
Hey, I got so many shirts that I like designs in my mind that it would be funny, but they're not politically correct.
Even better.
Like a bag dually or something. It's like, you can't tow with that. And be like, I towed your mom's house with it or something, just
I picked your mom up in it.
Yeah, exactly. I told your mom's big ass to McDonald's.
That's right. She ordered a Happy Meal, and I made her happy.
All right. All right, here we go. My motors used to running just a little too fast, with no one behind the wheel. Just a good time bubble with the tank full of gas, but now I got a brand new deal. I searched my mind for a way to find a way that I can work it all out. I thought for years, and now it's perfectly clear. This is what life's about. Grab a hot girl and a cold beer, find some back roads and just disappear. Living on the edges like dancing on a real sharp night. Just break the tunes up so you can get down. You gotta get lost so you can get found. If you're hanging with me, well, you're in for the ride of your life. Oh, that's right. Mama used to tell me that the only way to heaven was to sit at the church and pray. Well, me and the good Lord are real good buddies, but I think I found a better way. Cause the neon sign has just as bright a shine as a Sunday morning stained glass sun. So after some consideration and a good imagination, found a way to get it all done. Just get some long legs and a short skirt, put your mud tires on the red dirt. Living on the edges like dancing on a real sharp night. Well, it's the right time for a left turn, to a fast track or a slow burn. You're hanging with me where you're in for the ride of your life. Oh, that's right. Well, I tried to be sophisticated, went and got all educated, tried my hand at thinking, but I always ended drinking. Waking up in purgatory, knowing them girls, the same old story, hung overhead, hurting. But the purest certain it's a hot girl and a cold beer. Find some back roads and just disappear. Living on the edges like dancing on a real sharp night. Oh, it's the right time for a left turn, to a fast track or a slow burn. You're hanging with me where you're in for the ride of your life. Well, if you're hanging with me where you're in for the ride of your life. Something like that.
Something like that. My brother, we got a treat. We yeah, the only guy who's had a guitar right next to him on C10 Talk. So dude, I'm telling you, man, love it. Love listening to you. Love jamming. And honestly, we're into Monday, bro.
We're what Monday?
Texas Times Monday.
Oh, hell yeah.
Bring on Monday.
So it's the first time people played For Whom the Bell Tolls?
That would be.
Or I haven't played a long time. It's actually fun. We can do this all night.
The cool thing right there is exactly why C10's in the park is you might get a Cassidy, a Straight, a Waylon, an AC/DC, a Metallica.
My arms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy. There's vomit on the sweater already. Mom's spaghetti, he's nervous, but on the surface he was calm and ready to drop bombs. But he keeps on forgetting what he wrote down. The whole crowd goes so loud. He opens his mouth, but the words don't come out. To Eminem or to Fat Pat and Lil Troy. Wanna be a baller, shot caller, 20-inch blades on the Impala. Caller, be late tonight. Switch a road tight, got spread my eyes. I hit the highway, making money the flyway. But it's got to be a better way, better way, better way, yeah. Or a little bit of, I don't know. My phone's winking at me. Gonna make a change for once in my life.
MJ, baby.
It's gonna feel real good. It's gonna make a difference. It's gonna make it right. As I turn up on board a faded winter storm, this winter's blowing my mind. Now all the kids in the street, not enough to eat. Who am I to be blind, pretending not to see their needs? Or I don't know. We can do this all night, brother. I'm gonna go get some sleep.
All right, take us out with your favorite, 80s hair band song. And I just want to, again, thank you for your time. I love what you do. We're going to keep pushing you out there to the world. We'll see you on Friday.
Absolutely, brother. I appreciate it. I had a blast. Let's see. Favorite 80s song?
How about your favorite song all time? I don't even care. Do you have a favorite song? Give me some Waylon. What's drinking and what's the Mexico one, Waylon? Drinking. Oh, I love it. I'm drunk.
Always two things in life to make it worth living. Guitars are tuned good, fine, firm, feeling women. Let's do how about a little bit of 80s rock band? Let me think. I'm thinking.
Cinderella, Rat.
Talk to me softly. There's something in your eyes. Don't hang your head in sorrow, and please don't cry. I know how you feel inside. I've been there before. Something is changing inside, and don't you know? Don't you cry, I still love you, baby. Don't you cry. Don't you cry tonight, there's a little for you, baby. Don't you cry. I remember this one. Saw you with a smile, cut you like you want me to, cut that little child. The side of me is such a part of you. Ooh, yes. Ooh, yeah. Burn, burn, burn. I used to be a little boy with love in my shoes. What I choose is my choice. What's a boy supposed to do? Killer in me, there's a killer in you. My love, sit and smile over you. haven't played that in like 20 years.
Shit, that shit came out when you were in your third year of sophomore year, I think.
I know. I remember the CD in my little S10. Yeah.
A little different than the country stuff you were listening to.
The what?
That was a little different. Smashing Pumpkins a little different than the country stuff you were listening to.
Oh, yeah. Had a bad day again. Said I would not understand. Left a note and said I'm sorry. I had a bad day. Spilled the coffee, broke a shoelace. Smeared the lipstick off her face. Slammed the door and said I'm sorry. I had a bad day. Man, fuel was good.
Oh my God. I think when you start playing like that, I don't see how you don't keep playing when you're playing, because you can keep doing. And I hope people tell you this, that you have that ability to play so many different songs.
Yeah, I take a journey. Woke up to the sound of pouring rain. Watch the way I dream of you. All the tears that cry, they call my name. Dude, we lived in the best time, of music.
I know. So does your band, do they just follow along and they're like, oh shit, he's taking a journey. What's he going to get on now? Is he going to get on a late 80s? Is he going to get on a metal? Is he going to get on a grunge?
Met a girl, thought she was grand. Fell in love, found out firsthand. That was always fun. Yeah. Love that one. I've been sitting here trying to find myself, get behind myself, need to rewind myself, looking for the payback, listen for the playback. It's just weird. Different chords or keys take me into a song that's similar to whatever key I was playing in. So that's kind of how I interweave through different stuff, and stuff pops into my head. Waiting at the station, tears filling up my eyes. Sometimes the pain that I comes and goes like a fire inside. Looked out my window. Sometimes it's hard to see things you want in life come and go so easily. She took the last train out of my heart. She took the last train. Now I think I'll make a brand new start. She took the last train out of my heart. Watching the days go by, thinking about the plans we made. Days turned into years. It's funny how they fade away. Sometimes I think of those days. Sometimes I just hide away, waiting on the 9:20 train, waiting on your memory. Last train out of my heart. She took the last train, and now I think I'll make a brand new start. Dude, old Kiefer's a bad sumbitch.
You go high, you go low. You get that deep Jason Cassidy, Waylon kind of. You got it all, dude. You've got pretty.
You got it all, my heart, my soul, my wishes.
Kenny.
So, what time you getting in Friday? Thursday?
No, we're getting in Thursday night, and we're gonna stay at VRBO. There's we got a whole tribe coming in, but we're staying outside of. We're staying in Montgomery.
Outside?
Outside of, I think it's in Montgomery.
I'm looking in. They can find YouTube if they search Aaron Lewis and Jason Cassidy. We do it outside. We did it all over Anaheim, and it's a pretty funny one. There's one down in Corpus Christi of us doing outside, and Aaron was wasted off his I was sober. It was when I first started not drinking. Now I think it was one of the times before. This time's been over 3 years, but it was one of those 6 months or so was like the longest I ever not drank before until now. But he's got this glaze, and he's talking to the audience, and he's just, you could just see it. And he's like, he goes something, I don't know. He's making fun of people in the audience or whatever, but when he's that far gone, when outside is this slow.
Because it starts slow anyways.
I'm like, okay, we're gonna be here 9 minutes, and it's about that long. It's 9 or 10 minute video, but it's fucking hilarious, dude. He goes, Texas Zone, Jason Cassidy, motherfuckers, on the part where I come in, but it's hilarious. But
what's he?
Watch that.
He's still playing a lot. I haven't heard a lot.
He's actually fixing to do some stuff. He's been doing some live from the couch stuff. It charges pretty good. I don't know how people pay or whatever, but just to watch him on the phone. But he's coming here. Oh shit, maybe this weekend or next weekend or something. I'm doing some social distance stuff, but the tickets are ridiculous. I don't know who's charging the $90 for social distance shows and whatever, but hey, more power to whoever can pay that for a ticket.
Yeah, people got to, they got to make money, right? So he's trying to make money, and people are wanting. I'm telling you, man, people are jonesing to get out, dude. So they're jonesing to get out. They're jonesing to see their favorite artists and performers, and we're gonna get to see some people.
Yeah, for sure. Whole show.
Okay, you going to bed?
No, I'm at the shop. My Wi-Fi at the house sucks, but I'm fixing to head that way. But here's the old 61.
Oh, there's the bubble top. There's the Bell Ain't.
The Bell Ain't, yeah. I got the fenders on there. I got the hood. The slosh tubs for Diablo are up there. The fenders for Diablo. This is Scarlett Lohanson. But she's got full chopping block chassis under her with the built 5.3 and a Whipple supercharger going on that one.
She gonna be bad. She gonna be screaming.
She gonna be bad. There's old Ron Burgundy chilling. Big Black's looking good.
Oh, that thing turned out great.
Man, that OBS interior I put in, it looks good. But there's the Jimmy, it's no top Jimmy instead of top Jimmy Van Halen. Top Jimmy,
yeah,
no top Jimmy.
Yeah, no top Jimmy.
Yeah. So
now that white OBS, what's that white OBS?
That's the crew cab dually.
Oh yeah, you did say that, the 94.
Yeah, the first name for it was Cruella Dooleyville.
What's the second name?
Right now it is it's Red Dragon 2. It's just not Red Dragon 2 yet.
That'll be nice. I mean, why not, right? So with Red Dragon being your favorite truck, and then
it's no more.
Yeah. So yeah,
it is. It's painted now. It's just solid red. It's no Dragon no more. It's just red.
Just big red.
Yeah, it's red. But the Blazer, no top Jimmy. What the fuck is that name? It's got a name now. Or after Cruella, it was named something. Cruella. I don't know. I can't keep up.
94 Cruella. I think you just bring it back and you just bring back the Red Dragon, dude.
I was going to.
In the OBS form. I mean, 94 Square Dash, Crew Cab. Dude,
Yeah.
that's big hoops.
If I don't do that to Hillbilly Deluxe, if I get rid of the OBS, because it's just another full freaking build, a full chassis, and I'm running out of time and running out of gears and running out of money. If my 06 pretty much has everything I want with the Duramax and everything else, I might just do it to that and just get rid of the OBS. I just, like I said, man, there's only so much shit I can do.
That's the hard part about having an OBS and a like I said, an 06, because I love OBS 94, like a crew cab 4-wheel drive. And I'm like, why would I buy one of those? I have a crew cab
with the Duramax. Why would I want a big block and still have to switch? Doing a Duramax swap, I'd rather cut off my right arm than have to do that. I mean, just getting all that shit off of there and get them to stand alone and make it fit. I don't know, man. It just sounds like more trouble than I don't want it bad enough to go through all that bullshit.
Well, and I think you're smart in that the 94 crew, it's going to bring money. So, yeah. I mean, they're worth money. So
yeah,
just put it into a Hillbilly Deluxe and be happy with it.
That's what I'm thinking.
Go to bed. It's Monday there, and you're supposed to be working on, now you're in Cassidy's Customs, no more just special projects. Thanks for your time, brother. Everything you do, keep doing it. And anything we can do for you, please let us know. We'll see you on Friday.
Sounds good, buddy. Thank you, man.
Later, bro.
Who's up?
Go on. Get your ass out of here.